The children crying for starvation, just don't just move. You want to get a news update, my brother, don't just move. Okay, what a way to welcome you. I like to welcome all of you tonight to this edition of the program. This is Spoon 107.5 FM. Of course, this is Spoon Talk. We're live tonight across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5. We're live on Fabric Radio 101.1. Several other frequencies across Liberia, thanks to Voice of Liberia 104.1. And a host of radio stations across Liberia for always relaying the program. We're here tonight. This is where you get the news, the updates, the views, the analysis, one full package here every single day. My name is Nelson Colette. This edition of Spoon Talk promises to be very informative. Get glued to your radio. Put your TV on. Kindly share the program as you join us on this very important edition of Spoon Talk. Tonight, I want to welcome our online audience. As you're aware, we're live on Facebook, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, Super TV, and on YouTube, we're there at Spoon Talk Live. I want to encourage you to keep sharing the program as you join us tonight. See, Daniel Tante is here. Thank you for joining us. He says from Tinker's Village. That's where he's joining us from. Natalie Weir, that's Nathaniel Weir. Nathaniel K. Hill, thank you for joining us. Natalie Weir, we appreciate you as well for coming on. We ask you to keep sharing the program tonight as you join us. This very important edition of Spoon Talk. Alosha Tente, thank you for coming on tonight. I see Monica Mensa is here as well. Daniel Dundee, that's Bindi. Thank you for joining us. Prince Yaligan, we appreciate you as well. Per Kimber, Abraham Swain, my dear brother, thank you for joining us. Marie Yuma is here tonight as well. We encourage all of you to just keep sharing the program as you join us tonight on this edition of Spoon Talk. So we're here tonight. As we always do, we dedicate the first segment of Spoon Talk to you. So you get to speak out, say what's on your mind. So you get to talk about the issues that matters the most to you, be it health, education, sanitation, the environment, just anything that's of concern to you. The What's on Your Mind segment provides you the perfect opportunity where you get to speak out on those different issues of concerns here every time. So I'd like to say thank you for joining us. And yes, we're going to do that. We'll open the phone lines at some point, take your calls, hear from you, your thoughts, the different issues that are of concern to you. And then once the CEO and the rest of the team come on, we hand controls over to them as they take on from there and get the rest of the conversation coming up for you here tonight on this edition of Spoon Talk. But just keep sharing the program as you join us tonight. We ask you to kindly share the show as you join us tonight. And let's have a great conversation here. Well, a lot happening across the country today. And it's very important that we bring you up to speed with some of those major happenings across Liberia today. Well, the Vanguard Student Unification Party staged a protest today up Capitol Hill, calling on national government to address the issue of jobs. And the protest was held under the slogan, jobs and justice. They want jobs and they want justice for the young people of Liberia. Protest started out very good. At some point, the Liberia National Police took siege of the situation as the protests was turning out a bit chaotic when the Liberia National Police stepped in and the situation was brought under control. And then on the flip side, you have a lot of happenings at the level of the Liberian Senate. The supplementary budget was presented for the first time today at the level of the Liberian Senate. More conversation on that coming up here tonight. Most of you have followed closely. Most of you must have followed closely the happenings with um, the the seat of the first branch of government, the Capitol building, when it got that fire, investigations going on. But today, the pro tem disclosed that China has committed to US 3 million to renovate. To do some renovation work at the level of the Capitol building, to include the rotunda, the joint chambers that got the fire, and other extension works. More conversation coming up on that once the CEO and the rest of the team come on tonight. On the flip side, the Sam Jackson case, a lot of you have been following very closely. Today, the prosecution challenged the bond that was being put forth by the defense team, the defense lawyer, the folks representing the legal interests of Mr. Sam Jackson. More conversation coming up on that as well. As most of you are aware, there was a property insurance bond of in the tune of some 20,000, according to Councillor Griggs when we spoke to him, some 20,000 secured in bond to ensure the release of Mr. Sam Jackson from the Monrovia Central Prison. As most of you are aware, that case has left the headquarters of the Liberian National Police, is now before the court. And as part of the argument, the prosecution has been challenging the validity of the 20,000 property bond in the manslaughter case involving renowned Liberian economist Sam Jackson. More conversation on that coming up, as well as the investigation at the level of the House of Representatives deepened, and this time not just with Representative Yeke Koluba, but there was a hearing today as investigation continues with Representative Jacob Ndibi of Grangeda County, who's also being arranged before the Committee on Rules, Order, and Administration. Is being investigated for comments he made regarding the speaker taking X amount of dollars to the border during the heat of the Guinea-Liberia border tension at the Solomba port of entry. And that investigation is before the House's Committee on Rules, Order, and Administration as well. And that plus the Yeke Koluba investigation are all tied up in utterances, especially so by high-ranking or high-profile officials of government, people who have been elected to serve the interests of the country. Well, they are being investigated, and we can only look forward to see what happens in the phase of the investigation. That plus a lot more happening across the country, and more coming up on all of these conversations here this evening on Spoon Talk. So just stay with us, share the show as you join us. It's going to be a great conversation this evening on Spoon Talk. Well, I see, ladies and gentlemen, let me now welcome the Honorable, your voice ain't even coming through, the Honorable Boom Breaker, Mr. Alexander Opa Witherspoon. See, I can hear you. The other sellers are going on tonight. It's not easy. I can hear you at all. Dr. Richardson, you can hear me?
I can hear you, Nelson. How you doing today?
I'm doing well.
I can't hear Stanton either.
That's just one button he's supposed to press. That's just one button.
You cannot bluff us with a Larry King setup, so that will happen. Talk again. No, yeah. No, you cannot bluff with that Larry King setup, so.
Wow. Wow.
You go back and come back in. Go back out and come back in.
So yeah, I think there's
yeah. Okay, so what happened is that we gotta take our time and do this thing. That one, what? That one messed up. That one took all 3 hours just to set the mixer up. 3 hours. They make it. We need technician. Dr. Richardson, what say you drinking green soap? It look like dirty water. That dirty water?
What I call dirty water?
Listen, Dr. Richardson. It didn't look like lime juice or.
Yeah, that lime juice I mix up in my water.
I swear it's looking like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I would not call medicine you drinking. I would not call medicine you drinking.
Well, I don't even know what you're talking, so I ain't even gonna ask him.
Dr. Richardson, we got plenty of show today. Joseph Burger in Ethiopia for a while, I don't know. We'll talk about this sport. What is in Ethiopia?
What do you mean by what I meant to Ethiopia?
You gotta ask the question, what are you doing in Ethiopia? You get Gaffa bring more out of there on spring break. You know when the children take that 1 week spring break? They just gotta play and you gotta get them to the park. So Gaffa took a bunch of them, brought them for spring break. And they got them to they'll be leaving next week Monday, some of them. You get Dr. Nuta, I don't know what happening with the agriculture ministry is dead as Sepe. Can you imagine that? The whole agriculture is dead as Sepe. Dr. Nuta said, you know, they put in gave money. I agree with Dr. Nuta. They ain't giving Dr. Nuta money. But Dr. Nuta said the one that they giving him, nobody know what he's doing with it. That's the problem. Do you know that the one that they giving Dr. Nuta, nobody know it? You know that all the ministry there and SOE just went quiet now? Are you observing it?
I'm observing well, in Dr. Nuta's situation, you know, agriculture or listed it low among the list of when they allotted money to the budget in the budget now.
You need to be innovative. Forget, even if they gave 5 cents. World Bank then giving Dr. Nuta plenty of money, giving the money to Amara Conan to go build farm. Dr. Nuta need to be innovative.
So it wasn't Dr. Nuta town, the poor got it grand, was it?
Dr. Richardson, you're not following the team. And that's why it can possibly, you and your cousin, Dr. George, your pa and your man say to school to be doctor, and you won't get in politics. You can get in politics like that. You do the doctor thing.
Your own politics different. Your own politics that give me running. Our own politics is different. Just say our own politics different because you know just be running politics style thing.
But it's something you got to bring love into it. You got to show.
I mean, each time we got love for it.
No, you don't, because look at Dr. George yesterday. World Bank off free $45 million, 40. The man said they will get the money back.
Is it not reasonable? How
can you convince the Liberian people that you take
a reasonable question to ask because usually World Bank don't give no free.
That's it, it's wrong. It's totally wrong. That's it.
World Bank does not give us anything for free.
World Bank gave a free $40 million. Dr. Richardson and her cousin, Dr. Joe, all the doctors in the family, they say you'll give it back.
Well, yeah, but then you the same person asking, what have you in Ethiopia?
Take it and ask question later. Yeah. That was the problem, right? They put you free money, take it, and you ask question later. But you tell the person, why are you giving all the money for? We don't want it. Because our government can raise 1.2 billion, so we don't want it. Hey, Dr. Richardson. Hey, man. You and your cousin, Dr. Josh. And we got to find a data politics school for you. We're saying the data politics school. Yeah. We're saying the data, I got seen. Yeah, man. We're saying to the data politics school. The CNC
people say, at least we like to ask questions.
Dr. Richardson is time and season to ask questions.
Nothing in life is for free. That money that World Bank gave us, there was some.
Your sister's son, Dr. George.
Let me finish now.
Your first cousin, Dr. George, when he was small,
two born sisters. But let me just tell you, that World Bank had stipulations to the money, okay? And Dr. George was very right, and I think that's the question that all of us should be asking. Was that money fresh?
What's the stipulation?
The stipulation said that we should spend it. Let me. I put it on last night on the chat.
See what she's doing? She went research now. You see that data thing? That Richardson, give that data thing small. You went research and we don't have time.
I'm not because. As a doctor, do you think I just don't do nothing or did?
What Richardson doing to me? I'm gonna wait for go do research. You know how many seconds you were killed?
Yeah, so tomorrow you will not say Dr. Richardson or just say stuff.
All of you, right? We got a great show coming out today. I'm here with my lovely Dr. Richardson, right? We're gonna give you nothing but the best, but we can tell you though, a lot of stuff is happening. The protesters there will be having Councillor Bauko coming on, the former LDA deputy director. He's the one representing the 18 or 21 veteran that is in the custody of the Liberia National Police. You followed the protest today, it was a huge one, right? So, but my question is, When we soon start protesting and do things accordingly, follow the process to express your grievances, right? Now, it's the right to protest. But this thing about what the other group that's in, Soup and who? Prosa, what the name?
Prosa.
Yeah,
Prosa. Yeah.
So
they have Studa as well.
They get Studa, they get Prosa. When will these guys just sit there in class and do this thing on a diplomatic level? They know the diplomacy should work, Dr. Richardson, and that's something that we would then go, for Sue business, I will die. That Gafana put it in the training. That Gafana used to do it. Dr. Richardson, what you want your ear for? I mean, Zigo today.
Yeah, listen.
It doesn't give right to the Liberia National Police if they brutalize them. But I want the young men and women to do things through the proper channel. Express your dislike, your what you don't like at the University of Liberia. What are you Proza? What are you Studa? What are you Soup? What are you Pepper? What are you Okre? What are you Salt? Whatever you are, go through your lawmakers. Go through your district representative. Go through your senators.
I disagree.
But let me say my own. That Richardson, let me say my own. I don't
want to say nothing. Go ahead.
Listen, you and myself will not agree because you're opposition of Joseph Imam Braga. For me, I'm not opposition of President Braga. I will tell you the truth, I'm not opposition.
Let me just say that if the government does right, I would say that it's right. If Joseph Boakai does right, no matter if I opposition, imposition, no position, I would say that it's right. But if the government is not doing right for the people, I would say it's center. I'll be the number one person want Joseph Boakai to do right, because when he does right, my brother, sister, cousins who are in my
Joseph Boakai, so you'll be happy. Your own blood
brother. My own brother. Of course I'll be happy. My own brother.
Joseph Boakai being with Job, then he say come to America to hustle. By the way, look who I heard.
You know more than I know. You know more than I know.
That's it. The me Orlando is frustrated. He's crying every day. I said, "Oh man, leave me, man." They get you.
Listen to you. And listen, he can be talking to you.
What kind of tears? What was that? Listen, what was that? Listen, you are at the University of Liberia. Make a case. Challenge the process. But again, it's not only about this government. Dr. Richardson, nobody will go to a school campus and have protests. They got system. If Dr. Richardson pay any student right now, student don't have a school fee to pay, they got process. She know that. We went to school, we never had it, but they got process. So the issue is that, my friend, let's try to transition a little bit. And I'm happy I'll be speaking to Councilor Bauko. He's coming on the show. We're not taking phone call right now. I don't know who calling me. Please don't call me. I'm happy. We're taking phone call, then they start calling early. I'm in Zigo right now. So the best thing we can do for us to sit down here and listen, call Mama Payne. She's a university president.
She traveled to Ethiopia.
No, but the woman live in Ethiopia. Mama Payne live in Ethiopia.
Well, she was the president, so you get the call right now.
Call Delon. Well, Delon can't forget it. He doesn't care anyway. Call Sir Joseph. Hey, Sir Joseph, our party leader now, so they're busy. So that's the problem.
You really I guess the president.
If you vote for the wrong individual, you voted for them. So therefore, they will leave you alone. You have to bring these people to book. You got to tell them to come on our campus. This is what we demand of the university. Take our complaint to the executive. You are the one representing us. Right in Mosorado County. When last year, see Delon to the University of Liberia? Show me that video. When last time Joseph ever been to the University of Liberia to speak on you guys' behalf?
When you say chairman go to talk to the lawmaker, then you say, well,
they are lawmaker. They should go talk to them. When last have you guys reached out to Delon or Delon reached? You need a representation. Suda, Prozac, wherever it is. Tylenol, paracetamol. You need a representation. And listen, I'm happy that we're going to be having Bawuko on tonight. It's time for us to tell the young man, and if Gregory Coleman, Liberia National Police, brutalized and beat and hurt the young men that are protesting today, then we'll say Gregory is wrong. Then we have to tell you that it's wrong. But we got to work concomitantly, together, in line. All the protests from Chatero Town, Samakero Town, what happened? The university is still bad off. But the only record Gafana get, I used to host posts, I used to do protests here and there. I was the president for student proofs. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, you know, sir, but then eventually, you know, we're happy to have everybody. It will be a wonderful show today. And again, Prince Moyi said they were getting $8 million, $6 or $8 million, you know, to renovate the Capitol building. The Chinese Post will get you 3. So all the $8 million money that Prince Moyi said they were getting, that's in that claim from Prince Moyi. We gotta ask Prince Moyi where that money. Did they give Prince Moyi that money? We gotta ask questions, right? Today they call my man James Debbie. The man said the recording was AI. Jacob Debbie, thank you, Jacob. The man said the recording was AI. The man came on spoon to, he said they got it $200,000. Then he went there and told the person that AI. So I was sleeping and they called me.
Oh, they call you?
They called me. And I will sue James Collette for interrupting my sleep. I will. Unannounced. He had me on speaker, unannounced.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not right.
I read John my ways on.
But I told Bruce Collette and I told them, I said, my man, somebody called by the name of Jacob Debbie, the president said, you're $200 million. He said, million, I said, no, 200,000. So what do they mess suspending for saying the truth? The question remains, did you guys eat the 200,000? That's the question people are asking. Folks, share the show. Thank you for joining Spoon Talk tonight. It's going to be a great show. Wherever you are, we say we always love having you. Go on YouTube, go on Voice of Liberia, on Facebook, on Super, go on Fabric and Spoon. Again, let's have a great ride. We get everything you need to know. Mawani Diggs yesterday was sitting on the prisoner bench. We're going to bring that picture up. Mawani Diggs and the other people, the former commerce minister, she was sitting on the prisoner bench and she poured on a bill. And she was released. When we asked who released Mawani Diggs, they said somebody from the Supreme Court says, okay, it's a bailable offense, she can go home. Yeah, it's a bailable offense, she can go home. So Mawani Diggs right now under the custody of the Liberia National Government, you know, she cannot leave the country. You know that because of the indictment. And as you see right now, she will go to court and fight. But we will be calling the young man, his name is Wilfred Bangura. Wilfred Bangura, former deputy minister of administrative operations, something at the Ministry of Commerce. He will be the government lawyer. We're calling him tonight. On Thursday, Wilfred Bangura will be the Spoon panelist representing NDR.
Yeah, man, I will not be on Thursday.
Representing NDR, Cooper Crack as the Cooper Crack labor minister that gave all the Liberian people job to B. Martin, that the party he's from. He's the party chairman, NDR. And B. Martin will discuss B. Martin today. B. Martin is the worst concession in the history of Liberia. Yeah. They produce their own chicle, they're producing their own Bubba John, they're producing their own water, their own cement. They have refused to hire anybody. If you get Liberian origin, Liberian background, they will not hire you. They say we are inexperienced in the country, so they can't hire you. They want to. Yeah, but I want natural resources, not inexperienced, right? Right?
But who signed the contract then?
Oh yeah, we'll go down and say who signed the contract. Amaracone gave them that contract and gave the Liberian people 3%. It was Amaracone when he was Minister of Finance at the time. The very Amaracone protecting them. The Liberian people need to know this. Do you know that Amaracone, Madam Selim, and Joseph Human work out all of that?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not calling the name. I'm not afraid. I'm going to call the name. This is a very, very bad deal. And we got to I don't know whether Jeremiah Kuhn was there at the time, 2005. He wasn't there.
Yes, that's already.
So no, Jeremiah Kuhn wasn't a representative there, 2005. 2025.
Was the contract ever extended?
Wait, that already see. You see, when we can't talk, we don't talk, bring talk. Was Jeremiah Coon represented in 2005?
But
No, you gotta answer the question. Was he a representative 2005?
Oh man, that question not relevant.
Brother, you see how you choke? Brother,
when you ratify the D, when you ratify something.
To tell you the truth, I don't let Jeremiah come out of it. Right? But what are you laughing? That Richard, what am I laughing? Oh, I'm serious. You don't let Jeremiah cool. I don't let Jeremiah cool. Then you laughing? I don't know what you're laughing for, but let me go back to my talking point. They call him man Lucien.
2013. What was Jeremiah Coon in 2013?
Huh?
What was Jeremiah Coon in 2013 when
I'm talking about when this thing started. Jeremiah Coon was a representative who was selling gas in Nima County.
2001, but in 2013.
Jeremiah Coon was Kimball in Nima County. You know that record. Okay. You cannot leave the man being a Kimball and put it in the Capitol building.
So the contract was revised in 2013. I know
that you are going after Jeremiah Coon. I have no.
I have to ask a question not only for Jeremiah Coon.
But I'm saying to you, the contract that brought in Putu Martin and the contract that brought in the B Martin we're talking about, and they're not too fundamental yet. And a lot of people don't know the truth.
I agree. So the contract in now. So
I get to the amended contract. Yeah, we amend the contract. Let's stick with the thing. Who brought the contract?
But me, I will talk both. I will just talk both.
I beg you.
But that's the truth, though. That's the fact, right? You can just say
it's the truth. The contract started early. It started early.
Was Jeremiah Coon part of the contract?
2001.
Was Jeremiah Coon part of the contract?
No. For the initial stage, no.
No.
Thank you very much. Thank you for correcting you. Thank you. You know what? I think you will pass that bowl. You will pass your bar. You will pass that test. You be sincere and honest. You know, you so don't like Jeremiah Coon, a very quiet, peaceful creature. The men are trying to revive and help Joseph Yima Boakai bring about the drastic reform the country so desire. You don't like him.
The man like you. It's about what's good for the Liberian people.
The country remain calm. You choose not to like him.
It is not about liking Jeremiah Coon. It is about what is good for Liberia. It is what is good for our country. It is about telling the whole story. From who started it, who were there when it was amended.
Senator Jeremiah Coon is the most corrupt individual in the government.
So can I finish? Then you will talk. Everybody will have time.
All right. Talk. Finish pressing your man.
No, I'm not pressing Jeremiah Coon. It's not a man thing, right? It's just a fact. It's just a fact. You know what? Nelson, can you call your guy then, Diamond, and you can see that and send you all the video you upload them, please? What we need to do here, we need to speak truth to power. Mm-hmm. Compare anything you want to compare. The way President Boakai is entrusting into the care of Jeremiah Coon and treating Jeremiah Coon. You know, Joe, I didn't treat Joe Howard Taylor that way. You know that. Hmm? The way President Boakai treated Jeremiah Coon, giving him more responsibility. You know, former President George Manneh didn't treat Joel that way. Joel came on the show and complained that Richardson. She begged for salt and pepper. The Liberian people must hear this.
You comparing apples to oranges.
Hold on. Now you brought about Jeremiah Coon, so let me help you. Joel Howard begged for salt and pepper. She was rejected, she was neglected, she was abandoned, and you know that story. We brought man Joel on Spoon Talk. When you were hustling at Labor Ministry or whatever ministry you're hustling in Jefferson, we brought her on Spoon Talk. The woman cried on the show. I felt sorry for her. I felt her pain, and quietly I talked to her in the back. Ask man Joel. And my woman asked her. I mean, you brought a whole vice president on, and you made a woman to beg and run. She was like a beggar in CDC. And look at the woman today. Then you want to make that comparison? What was some of the tax President Boakai and against Jeremiah Coon? We seen it all over. Compare that to Joel Howard Taylor. Tell her I'll go there. And sometimes when we come on the show, let me peace so that Richardson, you are on spoon talk. Woman to woman. That woman cried. And the Bible says, St. John 11:35, Jesus wept. Joel Howard Taylor wept.
Oh.
Yeah, she cried. You know that. So how can we make that comparison? So if you have a vice president, and my Liberian people, you can tell me if I'm wrong. If you have a vice president that working in the interest of the country, following the directive of the president himself, good things happen. Beautiful things happen.
You said what? Following the directive?
What would the assignment president where I gave Joel Howard Taylor? You remember any of them, Jeff?
So you finish?
You
remember any of them, Jeff?
No, you finish first.
So there's really no argument. No.
Let me talk my own.
No, for real. I felt sorry for my Joel. We went to her house. That kind of Rachel see her. The woman cooked nice chopwork and gravy, fufu and soup. We sat down. The woman shed tears. She cried. She cried bitterly. She said, I wish I was a senator. I wouldn't have turned my back. She said, look what they're doing to me. Look at my girl. He can't pick up my call. I call President Weah. He's not answering me. He called a Chamberlain from me. She cried on spoon talk. That Richardson, you were there. You were on my left, the woman on my right hand side. We ate. She took us to our foundation. She said, look at all the wonders of the world that I can help these young children, these young girls then. But the government is not paying attention to me. The woman cried. She cried. Then you want to sit here and tell us?
Okay, so you finished.
Well, tell me so what assignment, major assignment, President Weah get Joel Howard Taylor.
Okay,
and so the upward. What happened today?
So before I tell you something, let's address the facts.
Oh, but you can't tell me
is that what you are saying is completely contrary to what happened. It's not true. It's false. It's misleading.
What's it false?
Everything you said that about Joel and His Excellency, the former president.
Mm-hmm.
The former president had Joel fully functional in her capacity. Moreover, you are comparing apples to oranges. You are comparing an incompetent 85-year-old man.
Brother Jeff,
an incompetent 85-year-old man.
Jefferson, hold on now. Jeff, hold on. You say everything I said are false. Bring us up to speed. Name up one of the major assignments that were given to man Joel, and let's see the output.
Stanton, the former vice president had her function as a vice president, and she functioned in that capacity fully.
Which one?
Her official function.
Name one of the official.
Stanton.
Let's take a chair here now. Name one of the official.
Let me. You have time to tell your own. Let me tell my own.
Jeff, name us one of Joel Howard Taylor official function that was implemented accordingly, and we are seeing the output today. Name one.
Stanton, the vice president responsibility is to assist the president. She did that in her capacity.
Which one did she do? Which one did she do?
The opportunity to function in that capacity.
Which one, Jeff?
She assisted the president in
what
many
way?
capacities. In so many capacities.
Name one, Jeff. Name one.
Yes, Stanton.
So let's move on. Let's move on.
No, don't move on, Stanton. You had a chance. Let me clarify.
Waste our time. Jefferson, waste our time. And I don't blame you because you got nothing to leave. Welcome to the show, Fubi Henry, my brother, Dr. Emmanuel George, Dr. Francine Chinwe Richardson. You know what, though? You can come on this show, unscripted, folks, and talk about the issue affecting our country. We got a lot to talk about today. But you will not come on this show. And what we know, you say we know, Dr. Richardson, do you remember anything that was done under Madam Joel Howard Taylor that was given to her by President George Manuel Weah as a major assignment? Dr. Richardson, can you think of anything? Do you remember anything, Dr. Richardson?
I'm trying to recall the conversation that we had, because we did have a conversation with her. I don't know if you remember. and she was telling us about the young girls program.
Yes, Star Foundation.
Okay.
Yes.
And it was
a private initiative, not the government, not the president.
Well, then she did have additional initiatives that she took, that she shared with us.
Starfish, we contributed to it. You remember that?
Yes.
Right? And it was a private initiative.
And there was other women's program that wasn't her private initiative that she shared with us as well. I was interested in the women's program, so I guess I can speak for that. But I know she was in charge of the road to Cape Town.
You want a sedition. You're trying to recollect. The men are on CDC payroll or for sedition full week. They're making name one. You see, that's the thing I want to bring Joya back, and that's the problem there. That thing is a problem.
That's not fair.
Let Dr. Richardson finish.
That observation just now not fair to Jefferson Chesson.
Wow.
Thank you.
The man's opposition. You want to hide it? He's not.
Don't mind Stanton. Stanton, you are comparing apples to oranges. You are comparing 85 years old incompetent old man young president. How you expect him to even function as a president? He cannot function.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me go to Emmanuel George. Emmanuel George, welcome to the show. Dr. George, it's good to see you. I know we started the show yet, right? We just want to hear from you, Eman. You remember anything, assignment that was given to Madam Jewel? A beautiful lady, by the way. I love her too much. I love her to death. She's one of my favorite in Liberia. Right? Do you remember anything that was given to her by President George Manneh Weah at the time that you can recognize today as an assignment? Like Joseph Boakai gave Jeremiah Kuhn the inflation assignment, the Putu Martin assignment, the energy assignment. Do you remember anything that was given to her?
Good evening, Stanton. Good evening, Dr. Richardson.
Yes. Good evening. You must have talked 3 times today.
Okay. No, I cannot fully recall right now. I have to look into that, but right now, nothing can come off my head to the top of my head right now. No.
Fubi, can you help us? You're in Liberia. You're trying to run in district number 9. Fubi, can you help us?
Yeah. So good evening, everybody. The first thing, Joa will tell her how to come on air to openly apologize to President Weah. She was sidelined. She even cried that her vehicles, her allowances were not being paid. She cried publicly and apologized to the president. At one point, she went Ghana or so without the president's knowledge. So she was silent. There were no assignment given to her. And, you know, she started to run too fast, and the president put the speed bumper in front of her. And that's how she slowed down. And they suppressed the lady. During that 6 years stint, they suppressed her. It was lastly during the campaign that they had to face that issue, and they had to campaign together for re-election. But Madam Taylor was suppressed, and she didn't enjoy her tenure as vice president. She complained about her allowances and benefits being given to her. So you can't sit here and be pretending the Constitution saying that she was functioning her role as vice president. No, she was vice president. Yes, that's a ceremonial role, but the president didn't give her any assignment to execute on his behalf, as President Boakai is doing with Jeremiah Kuhn. And that's a known fact. So it's better you admit it instead of trying to sugarcoat it as though we're not around.
You saying that she was suppressed, she was depressed. The woman had to go to Ghana for rehabilitation.
You're not interrupting now.
So can I ask?
The woman had to go to Ghana for rehabilitation. The woman was frustrated. The woman
very much.
One community to another community. She was telling the world, the international community, I have been abandoned. Even to come to America, Joya refused to sign the woman trip and call the embassy to give the woman visa. That's how painful it was. She don't let us go and open Bandura bags That woman, the way people treating her, that she's nobody. People even don't consider her as a former first lady. The very sedition, they don't even consider her as a former first lady. I mean, this is outrageous. This is the black part, the darkest part of our country. And Liberians need to know this. So when you get sedition on the show, and they cannot point to one thing that was given a woman as vice president, that they can boast off today, we are in trouble. Look at Jeremiah Cancun. Energy, he's there. Look at Jeremiah Cancun. Yellow machine, he's there. Look at Jeremiah Cancun. Inflation, he has submitted all his recommendations. Look at Jeremiah Cancun. The top of fuel and the increase in prices, the man is there. Putu Mountain, he's there. I mean, find something for the sake of good heaven and point to, let's see, which assignment was given to Madam Joy Howard Taylor that we can boast of today. If you can, go away, Kumese, shut up.
Can I ask 2 questions?
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
My question is, and as a behavior scientist, why were those assignments given to Kuhn and not to Jewel? I know you guys are saying because it was probably due to the personality and the pattern of behavior of George Weah. That's what you guys are saying. Is it possible that because Jewel Howard is a female, that she was not given these tasks? You shaking your head? No, Phoebe, you know that.
So
I just want to know.
Right, because we'll soon be going into our conversation.
And then my last question.
You will go first to answer.
Are these tasks that were given to Kuhn? What is the status of these tasks? You guys say you are a yellow machine. You are giving Putu Mountain.
Let's tell the first one that
I asked 3 questions. I just want to ask because I don't have time to talk.
No, you will come back. We're running with you. That Richardson will bake you. We were in the military for 3 days in hospital for 40 days and 40 nights. So I'm not talking about that. But Jefferson, answer Dr. Richardson question now. Why?
Listen, Stanton. First of all, there is no law requiring the president to give additional responsibility to the vice president. Firstly, so the president did nothing wrong if he did not. Secondly, you are now comparing George Weah to Joseph Boakai. I want to tell you that what you are comparing, they are apples to oranges. There are 2 different things you're comparing. They are not synonymous in any way. You have an 85-year-old incapacitated president who cannot move and does not have the capacity, incompetent to do his job, heading the country, and he has to give that responsibility. He has to. If he doesn't do it, it will not come up. To give it to Kuhn, who also is even grossly incompetent because every tax they have given Kuhn has never materialized. Where is the report and the result from the price responsibility given to look at the price? Where is that report and what became of it? The yellow machine is a fiasco. The Putu Mountain is even worse. I've told you on the show that every responsibility that has been given to Kuhn, he used it for his self-aggrandizement. He used it for a personal interest against the interests of the country. So, Stanton, you cannot compare these 2 presidents. Boakai is old, he's incompetent and incapacitated to move. He can move, so he has to do that. George Weah, on the other hand, was an energetic, hardworking president who went after his job diligently and was able to perform up to expectation. This is why you see in this country, we said the last time on this show that what George Weah did in this country will be a standard that has been set for presidents to perform. The presidency of George Manuel Weah raised the bar of the performance of our president. Before, no president was required to perform until George Weah came to power and set that standard. Now George Weah is the standard. It's the standard for every president. That's why you see Joseph Boakai running around the place looking for projects or what to do. He's fighting to perform. He's fighting to deliver to the Liberian people. Until then, until somebody can beat that record, His Excellency, the former President George Weah, remains the standard. And that is it. The Honorable former Vice President performed her function as a vice president. She performed all her necessary roles. Nobody hindered her. She worked diligently for the Liberian people during her tenure as vice president. Thank you, Stanton.
Thank you, uninterrupted. Thank you very much, Jefferson Chelsea. Dr. Richardson, was your question answered? Those questions, were they answered, Dr. Richardson?
Yes, a certain extent it was answered.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson.
Thank you.
There were other ones that were not answered. There was no other one.
You want to answer the Richardson question, Fubi?
Yeah, so the first thing, like you alluded to, it was not because Dua Watero was a woman. That's the reason why George Weah didn't give her the opportunity to take up some major tasks like President Bawka is doing with Jeremiah Kuhn.
How do you know that?
Yeah, I'm talking that with.
Richardson, you allow him to answer your question.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mean to interrupt.
Then write it down. Your brother said, "Miguel, a pen and paper." Your cousin,
I
right?
do have a paper.
Okay, can you allow him to finish? You didn't interrupt Jefferson Chelsea. You allowed the brother to speak.
No,
please.
because that is a very important thing. He's talking with such a
Allow
man.
him to continue before he loses his screen.
I respect you, Jefferson. I just wanted to speak. Okay, I'll write it down. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
The first thing, Baron Taylor was seen as a threat to the presidency. That's the reason why she was suppressed. Her very first greeting, her greeting message to the people of Bond County when she met the chiefs, she said, all of you have to join CDC. If you don't join CDC, because how can two work together unless they agree? So all of you have to join CDC. And the chiefs were even dismissed from their jobs. The president had to send the internal affairs minister to reinstate them. And after that, she was like having press conferences when she signed budget. She had a very quick budget she signed. She had a very big press conference, publicized it that the president had signed the budget of the Republic of Liberia. After that, she went Ghana without the president's knowledge. From that, the three different patterns, those stuff events that happened, the president started to suppress her. And it stopped giving her allowances. Her security details were reduced. Cars that she needed were abandoned. I think at one point, I think her convoy, gasoline finished while her convoy on the road. And she publicly complained. She came and apologized to the president on EFBC. So it was not because she was a woman. It was because she was like running ahead of herself. And the CDC guys around the president saw that. And they decided to say, look, Mr. President, if you don't team this woman, she will get ahead of you. That's how they team up. That's how they had her under control. And that's how she became very submissive and quiet. With the issue of Jeremiah Kuhn and the assignment that was given to him by President Bawka, so whether he has achieved them, it might not be to the expectation of everybody, but the issue of the yellow machine deal, he was able to renegotiate it, brought the price down, and today you got yellow machine in the country, even though they have not started operation like people anticipated, but the yellow machine, the first batch of yellow machine in the country. So that's a success. The issue of the prices, July 26 last year, when they talked about the prices, the president asked him to manage them. We saw circular from the president on price reduction of rice and other stuff. That's also a success. So we can't rule that. The issue of the Putu Mountain deal, we have been having discussion here with what a guy named James David of the AMR or so, and that stuff is ongoing. We have not seen the conclusion of that yet, but it's ongoing. So that's also a sign of success. So there are progress being made. The progress might not be to the expectation of everybody, but there are some gains that you can point to say, yes, this assignment was given, these are the results. This assignment was given, these are the results of the assignment. So we can't say that there is nothing that has been done, all of that.
Thank you, Fubi. Thank you. Now we'll go to our brother, Dr. George. Again, this is our just way of introducing the show to you. We'll get into our program for tonight. Dr. George, this is very, very important for us to know what's going on with the former vice president and her boss president. We are. So Jeremiah Kuhn, the current vice president, and his boss, Jose Yemabwaka.
Well, to be quite frank, I did not really follow the last administration until the end. And Fubi seems to have a vivid memory of what took place during that time. But I have great respect for former Vice President Joel Howard Taylor. Great respect. She's one of those who really supported the process when I did my PhD dissertation. She opened her office up to me. She allowed me 2 hours of interview. So, and recently when we met, so I have great respect for her. And I know that she's very smart and highly intelligent. Perhaps if the WIA government who have news her the more, things may have been a bit different. What her name Fubi said, he jumped in her step. So is it a vice president that signed the budget, or the president asked her to do that? If the president asked her to do that and she felt that there was a need for publicity, then I think it was great for the government to have to have that, and that publicity should have been good for them. But again, I have a very strong respect for former Vice President Joel Howard Taylor. And when I was a young man trying to get information, she was open to interview for me at that time. So I really didn't follow the administration a lot, but I'm grateful that Liberia had have that intelligent lady over there. The CDC, I think they missed an opportunity for not using her as much as they should have used her.
So Dr. Richardson, want to say welcome to all of you. Let me just say this is very important. Make no mistake. This is what we do here on Spoon Talk. Dr. Richardson, it is written. You can see it on the wall. Every assignment given to Jeremiah Kuhn, we know. The yellow machine, we know. He delivered $84 million to $21.6 million. Is there. He washed his hand out of it. Then when the government asks for 30 million, 50 million, you'll go back to it. Jeremiah Kuhn will do his job. He brought the yellow machine. He reduced the price. He negotiated wisely. One. The inflation, the price control. Jeremiah Kuhn did his job. We have the report. I put it in the chat room. If you see it, I will put it there again. His recommendation was very clear. While things prices are so hard today, we know it's very clear.
What happened? You're talking.
So just one point to that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Our issue is that here we are, and we sit here every day to simple. Joseph Boakai was a parked car. Madam said he gave him no assignment, and it was true. But with Jeremiah Kuhn, you can never say such. Let's talk about the energy sector. He had a retreat in the Makante. He went as far as coming to America. He went for the program. He went for the workshop. He met international energy folks. Let's talk about issues that he's speaking to. You cannot name me one thing that President George Weah gave Vice President Joel Howard Taylor. See, they should know that. That's the reason why Jefferson said there is no law to say the president should give that assignment. He said it. None of them can name one thing that was given to Man Joel. Because you know why? They can't eat own baby. They suppress her. They put her on a rehab. She was depressed. She was frustrated. That woman was just there like a jay. And that was wrong. The woman is well educated, served in the Senate, first lady to Gange Taylor. She possessed and she had all the credentials to make Joel to look better. The woman complained about McGill, complained about 712. She used to beg. She used to go around and beg everybody. Say, where will I get my fuel slip, my gas slip? The woman used to beg. They used to laugh at her. They were punishing her. Then Richardson you talk about because she's a woman? Hell yeah, because she was a woman. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, because she was a woman. If she was a man called Gange, they wouldn't have treated him like that. But because her name was Joelle, and they kept her in the closet, they locked the door.
No further question or explanation needed.
Thank you very much. They did that to her because they fell within herself. Her husband was a president. She had everything, and they just used her and abused her, and they set her apart and said, just give us victory, and then we don't need you anymore. She brought the great NPP. Look what James Biden said. I'm going to sit down here, I can't talk. You owe the woman an apology. You go and apologize to her. By the way, Joe, we are not apologize to her, we move. I apologize. The woman I take it. The woman come and say, stand until I apology. He can apologize tired until I apology. The woman take it. Now they ain't power to say, go back to your Uncle Joe, let him give you your money. The woman is frustrated. But you know what? We still love her. She's the best. I love that woman, seriously. And I think Charles will find himself a beautiful wife. Right? And thank God, she stay kicking. And we wish her well. I will leave her like that. I hope I can see her when I go to Liberia again. Yeah. But anyway, let's come back. Let's come back on course. Dr. Joey laughing for. Let's come back on course. CDC treated that woman bad. Very badly too. They treated her very badly. Yeah, they did. That woman didn't steal any money. Her hand never get caught in the cookie's jar. The guys don't walk away with $1 million. That woman walk away with poverty. They always explain that one. On this note, we move. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spoon Talk. We got a lot to talk about. Nelson, you ready? Do we have those videos, Nelson? Let's start rolling them. We're waiting for Bawuko to come and talk to us about those young men and women that got into some situation for the protest. Let's talk about the protest, though, that Rich is saying. They're protesting here. I don't know. I'm feeling good about the protesting. And we ask the Liberian people what they think. Today, people say, oh, police brutality, they won't happen, that won't happen. Dr. Richardson, welcome to the show. What say you about the soup protest today? Let's hear you. Let's make that our first conversation.
So I was hoping that you are going to play the video so I can see the protest. I want to say that people have the right to express themselves, to assemble. And our police has the right to behave professionally in this situation as well. So we have to understand what was at play here in terms of the students and what was at play in terms of the police behaving in a way that is consistent with the rule of law. That's what I have to add. But I want to see the protest. I want to hear more about it. And perhaps I can add some other things as well.
Very much. Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Emmanuel George, if you follow social media today, it was one of the things trending on social media, and it's phone coverage from start to finish. The protest, I mean, what say you?
Yes, under Article 17 of the Liberian Constitution, gave every one of us the right to express ourselves, and one of the ways to express yourself is through protest. So I think the students, the SUP was working on the fundamental rights, and then before I reach to the second part of it is that the issues they raised today, they raised in the protest today are genuine issues, and hopefully we started conversation around that. They were talking about the issue of unemployment among the youthful population. The University of Liberia just had a graduation ceremony, and about 90% of those students who graduated will not find jobs. So that's the condition of our country, and that's the issue of one of the things the protest was speaking to today. But the challenge we have, I mean, in as much as we say it's constitutional right, and the points they raise is genuine, is the level which most of the protests in Liberia are generated from student government, student unions, student from university campuses. It challenged the level of the educational system also. Hopefully we start to find another means of protesting and not making it come from the student union, from the university campus. This has been a history of the University of Liberia. Whichever party is in power, if that party doesn't have government support, the other party will protest. And so hopefully we will find another means of political party taking on these protests, so that we can give our students the opportunity to study, to learn, and to have the opportunity of integrating in the community at the end of the day. But their concern is genuine. I mean, to have a country where we're going to be, June is coming, July is coming, the school year is coming to an end. At the end of this school year, an estimated 10 to 15,000 Liberian students will graduate from all the universities and colleges in Liberia. And again, 90 to 95% of those students will not find a job. They won't find it. They won't be there for them, because this government is not known of creating jobs. But hopefully this energy will be channeled towards 2029. And the students will realize that with Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings as president of Liberia, trunking up 100,000 jobs every month, that will give them the opportunity to know that we have a genuine leader who is able to provide job in our country. And we have, the opportunity is there. So it's time for us to start channeling our energy towards 2029. And then this member of the House of Representatives, like the one from District Number 3, I think they should start working to change him, and and working to change the system so that students will have the opportunity of getting a job when they graduate from college and university. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. George. Let's welcome our brother Winfred Russell to the show. Joseph Chelsea, let's hear you on this protest issue.
Thank you, Stanton. So, Stanton, the first thing, I want to categorically condemn the action of the police today on the leader of SUP, and condemn the excessive force used by the police today against peaceful protesters. Our Constitution is clear on the fact that it's our fundamental constitutional right to assemble and to protest. If the government cannot stand the ordinary people to express themselves, because listen at what they were protesting for. The people were protesting for jobs, for education. This is exactly what is needed in our country. This government has miserably failed to create jobs at any point in time of their almost 3 years. So it's only right and just for the student to protest. And the police had no right to use excessive force today. What we saw today, those were unarmed, peaceful students protesting for their rights. Bouaka ordered his police to use excessive force on those students. That was unnecessary. It was not called for. And we demand the unconditional release of the student leader that is currently in prison. This government should stop infringing on the rights of citizens. This country can never be a one-party state. I don't care what Bouaka and Jeremiah Kun would do. This country will never be a one-party state. People lay down their lives. There were blood spilled for the multi-party democracy that we enjoy today. This regime, Bouaka and his gang of thieves, will not reduce the country into a one-party state. It's unfair, it's unjust. This should not happen ever in our history. We understand that SUP has always been a radical party. They always stood against government. So I mean, in this ancient time, you cannot continue to brutalize students openly like that. I mean, that's police brutality at the highest. Nobody will tell me, oh, CDC did it. We understand CDC will never go away. I know the next thing people want to say, oh, CDC brutalized it. Because CDC did it, you say you came to rescue. Is this a rescue? So because CDC did it, it's the same thing you're doing? Is that how we live? No, but it's a different scenario. Those students were peaceful, unarmed, and there was no form of violence. The police provoked them into violence and then started to beat them and shoot at them. This was uncalled for. The force was excessive, and Gregory Coleman must be called to order before he plunged our country back into the dark days. This is unfair and uncalled for. We want them to unconditionally release the student leader that is being held at the police station for no reason. That's violation of a constitutional right, and this should never happen in our society, especially in modern day society. Thank you, Stanton.
Thank you very much. Fubi?
Oh, God got patience. Thank God for God. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. I will say it. The same who call Jawia police, Patrick Zulu police, condemn them. You're right to condemn. The same way Patrick Zulu used to be ordering guys, the tear gas, peaceful protesters, and you guys are okay with those things. And we just look at you and laugh. We hear you guys condemning these days. I don't support police brutality. I would never support it. I've been a victim of it, and I will condemn them. But when I hear you guys speak, I just laugh because it sounds so funny. Because you guys were cheering them up the last time when you guys were in power. Your vice president at the time told the people, the superintendent, the chiefs in Bon County, if you don't join CDC, we'll remove you from your positions. She removed them. The president reinstated them. Your party chairman, Morba Malu, he said, if you don't join CDC, we'll deconstruct your ability to survive in this country. So they were the one that were pushing for one-party states, and not United Party. When the SUP went to protest on 26th day, your CDC, COP talks when they attacked them with the president of the police watching them. They almost killed us beginning, Walter Susulu. So when I hear you guys condemning these things today, I laugh. Your representative at Camas Gray talks on the university campus to brutalize students. So when I hear you guys condemning these things today, I can laugh. I don't support them. I will criticize them. But when I say look who's talking, that's where it becomes serious. Look who's talking. So the battle, the saga today, we condemn the police actions at any point in time when you use force on students or anybody right now on the students, peaceful protesters. It's your right to guide the protest to ensure that the protest doesn't turn violence. It's the right of the police to ensure that those who also don't want to be part of the protest have their freedom to move. And if the students were not provocative and disturbing and they just chanting and moving, just provide guidance for them so that you guide them through to wherever they want to go, and they can read their petition and go home. But if they decide to be violent, then the police can be able to use force to control them. But I don't support, the police, using force when the students were not being violent in their conduct of, protesting. Is everybody's right to protest is guaranteed by law, Article 17. The right to assemble and instruct your representatives in a peaceful manner, then instruct your representative. That's our right, and it shouldn't be prevented and stopped by police or anybody of the country. So we want to caution, the police, as you go about your duty, learn to also take these things into consideration. You got people at the Solomon border. What did you do to that way you're supposed to go and use your force? Not only people student, go there to the Guinean or to the border, go use force on them and put them under control. That's what you should be doing.
Thank you. Fubi. Thank you. Emmanuel, let's hear you.
I spoke on this issue.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Winfrey Russell, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Stanton. And it's great being here. Great seeing all of beautiful, wonderful, intelligent panelists. And I'd like to say hi to all of the listeners and viewers out there. And especially my beautiful cousin. I'd like to say hi to you. And glad you are doing okay. You look very radiant. I love that outfit you're wearing, by the way.
That's your cousin-in-law. That's not your cousin. Let's get to the conversation, sir, please.
Echo. That's an immense introduction. Let him talk, please.
Not your cousin-in-law, not your cousin.
What difference is it to you now?
It's a big difference.
I've never allowed this greeting to go uninterrupted.
My man, seriously.
That's not how he likes to open his show. That's how you don't open his show in Zico all the time.
You're not his cousin. You are his cousin-in-law. Let's get this. You are not his cousin. You are his cousin-in-law.
Then Russell, please answer the question. I please pick you in case.
Yeah, so Stanton, I saw that today. I saw the situation that unfolded there today with the students legitimately protesting. I mean, it's their right, and I do agree. So it doesn't matter whether it was done during the Sirleaf administration or the Boycott administration or the WEA administration. It is wrong. I mean, there's, I think folks need to be given the latitude and the opportunity to express themselves and to protest as they see fit, as long as they are doing it in a peaceful, orderly way. I think that's fine. So clamping down on the free expression of citizens and free expression of students. In this case, many of whom I believe were students. I think it's wrong, and I think it's wrong. It doesn't matter which government undertakes that. It's not something that we would like to endorse or would like to see happen. So that's just what I have to say about that. I mean, there's just no excuse for that kind of behavior.
We're going to be asking the Liberian people what they think about this protest today, and we're also going to be speaking with Councillor Bawuko. He's coming in studio, and he represented 21 of those individuals that were arrested today. Yes, we got videos that we'll be playing, and I have my take on the protest, and I will ask the question though. Anyway, Jacob talked to us because I don't even want to go there, right? I get a whole different spin on this other one, Jacob. It's like, Jacob, just do your own.
Yeah. Stanton, I followed the protest today because I'm in town. But I will say here clearly that today, what I saw as far as my evidence is concerned, the police today flagrantly violated the rights of peaceful students to exercise their democratic, legitimate right under the Constitution to freedom of assembly. And I think the Gregory Como and the leadership of the police there probably need some kind of international support, and probably they need to rework the police training curriculum and do some kind of refresher exercises down there to give the police more skills and more understanding in terms of dealing with freedom of assembly or protest action. Because I have seen, as an observer of Liberian politics, I've seen the last few years consistent action of the police to become very disruptive, and use other means like firing tear gas canister to disperse peaceful protesters when they are out there exercising their democratic rights under the law. So the role of the police is not to disrupt people's freedom of assembly. That's not their function, especially if they're doing it peacefully. And I saw the students were moving peacefully. They were headed to wherever they were going to get to deliver their petition. And I just saw police officers. It was live. They were not disrupting. They were not violating people's rights. They were not breaking any property. But the police started to disrupt the assembly of the students. And I think the students should find a way to even sue the government for the action of the police today. We're in a democracy. If the police not able to handle these kinds of things, then they need to take additional training so that they build their capacity to maintain emotional intelligence on matters of this nature. You can have young students who are raising legitimate issues. I listen to their protest. They were far legitimate. They're asking questions about jobs. It is their right. That's what the Constitution said. They have the right to petition their government, and their functionary for redress of their grievances is clearly spelled out in the Constitution. So young students who are graduating from the university, they are unemployed, they have no opportunity, they're destitute, and we see the government wasting public resources on meaningless activity. They have the right to challenge the government and to petition the government to behave in ways that was being in their own interest. So again, Gregory Coleman, their response is not to be disrupting people's protests, especially if the protest is happening peacefully and the students are walking and moving to their area to read their petition. You can't just be disrupting people. It's wrong. It's wrong. And I saw the brutality today, the very harsh action of the Liberia National Police on students. Mind you, these people are students. They are students, classroom students. So you should be able to deal with students differently rather than dealing with people who are non-students. So the police today, what I saw on screen, on camera was so ugly. I think the police wronged the students today, and the government could be sued and pay serious damages for the violation of the rights of students today.
Okay. Kev, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Senator. Let me say hi to everybody. I just imagine Gregory and Jeremiah Kuhn, they're sitting in the living room, listening to Jacob, and they're laughing. They say, yeah, the boy ain't get it. They need training. Jacob, they tell you they didn't know what they're doing. Jacob, they see you on that street, they will beat you. The days of freedom that you used to enjoy is gone. Yesterday, I used the word dark days. Stanton say, oh, okay, I'll stop you because you're bringing dark days. And today, the dark days show. You think they don't know what they're doing? They're very intentional. They know exactly what they're doing. They're preparing you to say, when we rig this election, this is what we're going to do to you after we rig the election. If we see you on the streets. The boy, they're not joking. It's serious. If we don't put this to a stop, this is a reincarnation of 1985. If we don't put this to a stop, the board ain't ready to carry a one-party system. The days of you to enjoy democracy will be no more. I say my own, people saying it, and we try to be intellectual on that thing to say, oh, give them training or give them, they know exactly. Because Jacob, those boys use the same soup route against our government. And they preach the same thing and say, Article 17, that's what they use. Go back and listen to the COP with Darius Dillon and them press conference before June 7. You know what he said? We are not asking the government for permission. We are asking the government to protect us because it's our right. The video is there. The video there. You think they don't know? What they're saying to you, we're going to rig this election. If we see anybody on the street, we will beat them off. We don't care. We're going to pour money to recruit more military. Supplementary budget there. Money is there for recruitment. We're going to recruit more of our people, and largely, most of the people will come from the region of who will support this government. We're playing with the reincarnation of 1985. I'll leave it.
So let me say this, and as you see, I didn't interrupt any of you guys. I beg not to be interrupted. What took place today is very important to discuss. And we actually bring people the side of this thing. Enough is enough, folks. Enough is enough. If you listen to my brother Kev, he worry about election 2029. He doesn't care about the folks, the young men and women that should be in classroom. Sowing the seed of fear that somebody will rig election and we're going back to 1985. What took place in 1985? Look, guys. And we know that we can never go back to those dark days. Never, ever it will happen in our country. But we got so many videos on the protest today. It is the right of anyone that wants to protest, Jacob. You can go out there, one person can put the placard on and protest, just one person. You can have 10,000 individuals protesting. But also you should respect the free movement of those individuals that are not protesting. It is the right of anyone as per the Constitution. And I hope we listen to this. You can go in front the main street. You can go on the bypass. You can go to the Capitol building. You put your flyer, oh, I dislike this thing. That's fine. But why are you doing it? Give others the chance to continue their daily activities. What's the intent of the protest? What's the message? You're going to protest and you're taking stone and you're throwing it at the police officer. When will we have a peaceful protest? You talk about Costa Day, it's very peaceful. When will we say we're going to say no? Every reason those students came out, legitimate, good reasons. But the way in which it's channeled, we should reconsider to have a disciplined protest, not to disrupt. But when opposition want to feed in, and they're behind the protest, but they are hiding their hands, that's the problem. The student asking for the due benefits, something that will help them. Better education, well paid when they leave school, when they leave the university, good thing. But when you have politicians want to turn the protest into a violent situation, then we got law enforcers and people sitting there and they should allow it. I know most of my opposition brothers and sisters want to take us back to 1985. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to create problem because they don't want the peace the country enjoys today that surpasses all understanding and every other peace, that people are so calm. They don't want that. They just don't need it. It's bothering them that how the country can be so peaceful today, that how the country can be so calm today. It's troubling them. It's troubling Kev Hassan. It's troubling Jefferson Chelsea. It's troubling seditions and other opposition that will come here and say, we are going back to 1979. We are going back to 1985. No, we are not. No, we are not. Is Soup want to protest? Fine. Gregory Coleman and the government of Liberia, Superman, we got SKD, go protest. We'll bring all the camera. We got ATS, go protest. You walk out on the street, we give you the side of the street. It happened here in Washington, D.C. The people just had the No King protest. They all gathered one spot and they directed them where to walk and they redirected traffic. But because we're protesting, so we should lock the Capitol building down, nobody should go to work. We should lock all the ministry down, nobody should go to work. We should stand and block the presidential convoy from going to the executive mansion and performing the duty in which he was sworn into. I know you guys are going to get mad, but that's the fact. We got to change course, folks. We have to. If Sue Prozac and whoever student group from the University of Liberia want to protest, they should protest peacefully. If they get in agreement with the government to say we're going to find this place that you're going to protest, we'll call all the media institutions to carry you guys live, check out. But you go and knock the door of the executive mansion to break it down,
No, but you said that status talking this year. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I asked you not
That's
to
what
interrupt.
happened.
I asked you not to interrupt.
Now what happened?
Kev, you'll get under your feeding. You'll get on your
They
feeding.
won't give up me.
Kev, you'll get off your feeding. You will learn to be patient today. You left yesterday. You want to leave today, leave. I mean, let's face
What
it.
happened today?
No, Kev, stop. You and Luna on the show, please. Let's face it. So before Conor Gray speak to this, and I like the fact that Bawu Cole is coming on. He's driving to the studio. He's going to come on. I want to have some serious conversation with him. So let's face it. I'm sorry that people got hurt. I will do everything I can by God's grace. If some of them need medical attention, we will help them. I'm sorry that they are asking for things that is so desire for better education. Conor Gray, we wish the government can give it to them. But when you have some elements among the protesters that trying to speak and fight for that which is so good for the education, and you have some opposition elements trying to disrupt and destroy the peaceful activities of the other Liberians, then you want the government to sit down and allow the country to burn. That's exactly what they are calling for. Not everybody that went out there to protested and went in the interest to protest. Look what Gregory Coleman did when the first protest took place under, how do you call him, the former party chairman, Mobile Malou. His first protest, you remember, they gathered them well. They brought people to receive the petition. The same thing caused that day under George Manawia. They gathered them well. But when you have elements that kept Hassan there sending money to Liberia to bring in some disgruntled youth, and you say that the University of Liberia students are protesting, we should call this out. I hope they can reach out to the lawmakers. I hope they can reach out to representatives and senators, and they can sit there and tell us that this is what we want for our university. And we'll talk to Gregory Coleman. And Gregory Coleman will allow the law to be the law. Thank God they got a lawyer. I talked to Bawu Cole. We'll work with Bawu Cole for them to be released. I will play this video, and we'll bring Conor Gray and Dr. Beauplay in. And y'all tell me whether this is protest. And let me play the video. Let me play the video real quick. Let me play the video real quick. Give me 1 minute. I will play this other one this week. So look at the scene and just think with me yourself. Everything is on a standstill. Everything is like that, Conor Gray. So what do we want? We want the police to sit there and allow that to happen. Is that what you want, Conor Gray? Is that the country we want to run? Let me bring you in, Conor Gray, because I get one video when the protesters, some of them were throwing stone. Some of them were throwing stone. Conor Gray, let's say you go to Dr. Beauplay. Let's say Conor Gray will go to Dr. Beauplay. We'll play all the videos and we'll listen to them. And the counselor is coming on. Bawu Cole is coming on. He will tell us exactly. Let the people protest and let it be peaceful protest. The demands are critical. The government will listen to them. But guess what happened? When I allow those that want to protest to stay in the way of those that want to carry on the normal daily functions. Conor Gray.
A good day, everyone. Madam, how are you today? Good. Yeah, Stanton, I think people always, they always put riot in the place of protestation. Civil disobedience is a part of democracy. People have to march for their rights. That's how you remind those who are responsible to govern the country, to respond. But you can clearly see sometimes those with sinister motives, those who thrive in chaos, those who just don't see society, they don't like to see society just too quiet, because in their own life there's chaos. They infiltrate some of these peaceful protestation. They do. Today I think I saw the the kids that were demonstrating, they were identifying people that were not part of the SUP militancy. And these are infiltrators. These are paid agents that people will chuckle in some of these peaceful protests. Look, the president of the University of Liberia is almost on a daily trip with the president of the Republic of Liberia looking for resources for that university. The Minister of Education, similarly, people are coming out to look for stuff just to better the lives of students at the university. But remember, people lost election after one term in office. They're not going to be peaceful. They don't like the idea. You see somebody sowing the seed of discord to say they're going out to 2029 when the election comes. Conspiracy theorists. Oh, this is what they're pushing exactly because that is their role, to be able to paint a negative picture. An election that they will not win, they've already said they will be cheated. That's the only way they will not win election. We're talking about the well-being of students today. You're talking about 2029. 2029, I doubt if some of these political parties that are making noise around here will even be around because this government would have done so much. Yeah, you can label me if you want. But I think if you give me yesterday and today, I'll take today because it's like night and day. And they don't want to see a peaceful Stanton. And we'll pray and hope that when people go out there to protest for their right, they don't turn that into riot. When you do that, of course, the law are those who are responsible to keep the peace will come and keep the peace, period. And you don't expect them to stand by with hand folding and then give you a chance because you want to satisfy your masters who don't like you. Don't the government are in power today, Stanton. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me play this video. And so last night, somebody reached out to me prior to the protest today, guys. And I want to say thanks to all those individuals that really want to help the cause of the student, right? And Dr. Richardson has sent this video. Let's play the video. All right, so I begin to question the video. Two of the the guys then went to visit Malu, that stand leader, right? And they went to visit Malu and to discuss about the protest. I seem not to believe it that Beauplay. And I was like, okay. And the gentleman told me, say, hey, listen, they are planning the protest and X, Y, and see what happened tomorrow. He sent me a long text. And he said, we recorded them. They went into Malu compound. They had a long meeting. They came up from there. Let me say this. If Malu want to protest, he will protest. If SUP want to protest, SUP should protest. Present the petition and tell the Liberian people exactly what they so desire. Russell, protests happen in Brooklyn Park all the time. You know that. You know that, Russell. And if people want to protest, they say, you'll come on this side. But when you have elements that will go among these guys that want to protest for a better education system in our country, that will go play, then that's a problem. And then when you go ahead and say, let's stone them, let's go after them. So you see people getting breaks. Those are the people you say going to protest, right? Those are the people that are going to protest that to go play. Those are the people that are fighting for better education. That's the means in which they are using. You'll say, because when you have elements going among the people, Fubi, the children that really want good education, reform at the University of Liberia on all of the campus.
You're so being hypocritical. That's being so hypocritical.
Excuse me.
Stop this.
Hypocrites, man.
Kev, I hate to put you in the bag and feel like I'm disrespecting you. But do not disrespect this show now. Okay? You have your time to come back and give your rebuttal to what I'm saying. But you've seen the video. So when you have people from opposition and other elements that insulting these young men, instead of going to talk about better education, they're saying, let's take students to go. You can watch the rest of the video. That'll go play. Let's hear you. And we'll get second round on this thing because I know these guys still want to say something in the closing. That'll Bobla, welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Stanton. Good to be on the show. Stanton, do you have the video where the protests may have degenerated into a riot? I think that's a critical piece. Do you have where students were protesting and then it went from protest?
Do you have that video sent to me? I get so many videos, I'm going through them. And I'll play the one that I put the gentleman in the car and all both of them and what happened.
But you don't have that where they
we have so many videos the producer put up one at a time.
Okay, I was just asking that because I think it is important, and I hope that the police would do that. You know, ask people to send in their videos because we want to know as much as we can about this and want to learn as much on both sides, so the public can know how to govern themselves, what to do and not to do, but also so the police can do a good look at their practices and tactics. There are many rights that are so critical to our citizenship, but three of them: the right to vote, the right to express oneself, and the right to freely assemble. So students have a right to assemble. People have a right to assemble, and the issues they're raising are legitimate. But it's one thing to say I have a legitimate issue. It's another thing to go about it in a way that's disruptive and has a propensity to look awry. So for me, I really want to see some of the videos. For anybody who's listening to us, you are out there today. I was not in that part of Monrovia today. You're out there. Send the video so we can see it. We want to see where things went bad, from a peaceful protest to riot-like behavior, because we want to make sure that students, if they're doing the right thing, are not brutalized, are not excessive force, are not used. At the same time, we want to make sure that students are doing the right thing so that the police won't have to come in and use the kind of force they use. But you talk about riot in Brooklyn Park. Yes, they do riot where you're at all the time. One of the things I would like to see more is the police can guide protests. When citizens get out, they have a right to assemble. They also have a right to protection. So the police can guide. In other words, you're on this side. So to your point, Stanton, you don't have to disrupt the whole or the bypass, or you're on this side. And the truth is, very effective when a lot of people are out with placards or shouting, they're chanting, making noise, and people are going back and forth. It actually gets the ears of the public, and it can produce better results. So I don't need to go and be totally disruptive, but I need to be consistently loud and persistent in my demand for what it is that I think. Jobs and justice, absolutely. But let's do it in a way that does not disrupt justice. So I don't want to lean too much in. I've been scrambling to find videos to show, and I think the police would do that. They should look through all the video, ask the public, send your videos, and scan it, and let's use it as a teachable moment. Because we don't want to have a situation where the police that's supposed to protect us are always against the citizens who have a right to protection.
And Dr. Richard, Dr. Bobla, before we bring in Dr. Richardson to close on the protest issue and the rest of the team, what used to make a lot of sense, and they should be law about it now. Not because you go on a protest, you should be a lawbreaker. Because what you just said, the police is still on the side. In America, yeah, you find people stay on that side. If they go against that, they get arrested, right? So arresting people that are breaking the law and say they are protesters, it's not strange in the global war, but people got to understand, yeah, that you got to listen to the police. You got to know your limit, where you should be, when you should be there. and allow other people to move freely. And now, if the police, on the other hand, brutalize other folks, I mean, it call into question more police reform, and we hold Gregory Coleman and the Liberia National Police responsible. To them, we got to encourage the young men and women. If you want to protest, it is your right, but do it as a law-abiding citizen. That'll be plan. I'm sorry, Dr. Richardson. Let's hear your closing on this.
I just want to drop this footnote, Stanton. It is very healthy and good for the future of our country when these things happen, that the police is fully transparent. Okay, fully transparent. So all of it and tactics need to be looked at, because it's helpful for the police also, and then for the public. So no covering up stuff here. Let's see it, because a teachable moment.
Online, if you go on Spoon Talk, Spoon did this thing from beginning to end. Help us to cut the video too. I think you saw it.
I look at Chief. I'm putting out messages to people. Yes.
Dr. Richardson, let's hear your closing on this protest.
Can you let me release the thing?
Can you what?
We can hear you now, Doc. We can hear you. We can hear you, Dr. Richardson.
All right, let me come to you.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because
ready to
okay. Yes, I can speak now. So protesting is valuable to democracy. Protesting is a way that we tell lawmakers and the public at large that, we disagree with you. And also the police is, I'm sorry, my computer buffering, in authority to make sure that we maintain our democratic values. We maintain the democracy structure, that we maintain democracy as a whole. So I heard you, Stanton, I didn't watch all of the protests, said that the people who legitimately were protesting were calling out and identifying people who were not legitimate protesters, which is a good start. That's a good sign. And that's what I think the police should have focused on, instead of just calling everyone bad and people who are paid agents and stuff like that, generally using a blanket on people. I don't think that our police should have gone on that route. I think that they should have stuck with those who are being disobedient and violating the law, and use their professionalism to allow others to protest. Because again, as I said, protesting is a legitimate part of our democracy. If it was wrong for the police to be brutal yesterday when CDC was in power and they brutalized Cicelu, that's his name, it is wrong today. It is wrong whenever we have protesters that are brutalized or excessive force is used by the police. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Dr. Emmanuel George, what say you, my friend?
Stanton, 1989 was the year my father told me that I've become a man. In 1989, I learned about student protests, and I learned that when you're playing the student protest, government ministers can be part of it. Because we're planning it at TC and we saw that coming. So it's easy to come up and say, oh, it's either the opposition, they go to opposition. No, there are officials in government that participate in these things because some of them belong to those parties. They were sponsors of those parties when we were in the university. But added to this is the fact that when you start studying protest movement, there is also the issue that when you organize protests, you have to be careful of the general public. The general public are impatient. They are always excited. They are normally not part of the plan, but they join the plan of the protest because they are excited about something. And that's why I also learned in 1989. When we did the protest for Dortmund College in 1989, after President Doe's birthday, we went into Harper and we got the vehicles we needed and brought it to TC campus. 3 hours later, the people of Harper, Maryland County took the protest from us and they scattered everything, destroyed everything of birthday 89. It was not the students who were back on campus. In fact, we're having meeting with Otero Gonga at that time and key government functionaries. When they came to tell us that, oh, we said it, we finished. Well, we wonder we have it. We on our campus, we're peaceful at TC. But the people of Maryland County turned that protest around. They scraped down the birthday 89 house. 3 hours, the entire birthday thing was gone. So when we start to speak about protests as if to say it's only the students, people plan protests, but there are people who are aggravated with government. There are people who are angry. There are people who just want to use protest, the opportunity to steal. They are there, and that's why the police, as Dr. Bobler says, should be there to safeguard and protect the protesters. That's their duty. They should be there to safeguard because there are other people who are not part of that protest movement. And yes, when people planning protests, they will reach out to other people for support. As I said, opposition may be involved, but government is also involved because I saw it with my own 2 eyes in 1989. I saw it with my 2 eyes. I heard it about 2 years. So it's not only one side, but hopefully, again, the students had a legitimate reason to protest. We are having about 90% of our students who will graduate this year will not have the opportunity of finding a befitting job that speaks to the degree that they are graduating from the various universities. And this government, the only job that Mo Ali said this government have created is hawker jobs in Cinco. That are the only jobs. And that is challenging. We have to change this around. And that's the reason why you have a protest.
I don't think anybody, disagreeing with your argument concerning the reason why the student came out today. They have legitimate reason, they have beautiful reason. But the way in which some element conducted themselves on a protest, that's also speak value. That's what we are talking about. And
yeah,
you just
I agree with you. What I'm sharing with you, Stenton, is that
ways to disrupt the peaceful, decent protests, and that's a problem.
Oh, so it's a problem, and that's why the police should be involved to create security for the protester. Because when you plan these things, Stenton, you always plan it for the best. But there are people who are also more aggravated than you. I'll give you an example of what happened to us. I was put in prison for 7 days.
We're talking about something modern days protest. You take up back because you didn't get food to eat after protest. She also chest and let's say.
Oh, anybody who went to DC will not tell you that they were protesting for food. We had enough food.
So Stanton, I see you showing video of the student parking rocks, but you did not show one video of a student throwing rock or any of the protesters throwing rocks. There were cameras all over there to tell you that the protester was peaceful. They were peaceful until the police provoked the situation, started shooting tear gas and bullets into the students. Look, Stanton, I can understand when you think that the opposition or CDC is part of it because it is what you guys did in the 6 years of our governance. You exploited the legitimate concerns of the student of SUPES and use it to protest against the government. So you are thinking that that is what we are doing. No, the opposition now is even more responsible. Will not do that. If the CDC wants to protest, we'll protest. You play a video of 2 persons walking in the street going somewhere, you assume that mobile model horse. I mean, how? How can we even do that? The 2 men just walking down the street and somebody recording them and say they're going to mobile. I see this, the protester going to mobile model horse. Show me mobile model horse in that video. You don't see it. So these are all poor, low-level propaganda from the United Party, and you need to stop this. The police today acted unprofessional, and I challenge you, Stanton, to point to one instant under the CDC-led government that the police shot and killed any peaceful protester. Show me one instant that the police brutalized peaceful protester. Never did that happen on our regime. Never would that ever happen, because His Excellency, the former President George Weah, believes in protecting the fundamental rights of all Liberians. And that is what is lacking within Joseph Boakai and Jeremiah Kung. They don't respect the rights of Liberians, and therefore they violate the rights of Liberians at any opportunity they got. They went to Kenjor. They shot and killed citizens that were protesting for their rights to good living. Mobile Mother and his team came on the street. You brutalized them, because that is what the Unity Party did when they're in opposition. They weaponized the sub-legitimate cause against the government. We'll never do that. The CDC is a bold and formidable party. If we want to protest, we'll protest with our chests. We don't go behind people and protest. No. You talk about people should go to second to ATS or SKD and you talk about Brooklyn Park. When you, Stanton, protested in this country, you block the executive mansion, you block people from going to work, you block the representatives and senators, you block the executive mansion, you took co-park on the street in front of the executive mansion to cook there. Did anybody shoot you? This 86-year-old Boakai was at that protest at his age. He was irresponsibly represented at that protest. Did anybody shooting or fire tear gas at him? No. It shows a responsible government under George Weah. But unlike y'all, a student unarmed, harmless, peaceful student, you shooting at them, you shooting tear gas at them. And job seekers here on this show are telling us that the government was right to do that. That is unfair. And again, Stanton, I want for us.
So again, just leave your fellow pilots. Don't call them job seekers. Let's discuss the issue.
No. People talk about the CDC and you say anything to us.
No. Yeah, but don't call anybody job seeker.
Stanton, let me close.
You're not coming in 10 times. They didn't answer you.
So let me close. Please let me close. Stanton, what happened today should never be repeated in this country. We demand the unconditional release of the student leader that has been held against his will by the police. So that young man should be released tomorrow immediately.
I'm just saying, I really don't know who actually can listen to what Joe was saying. Fubi, let me hear you.
Yeah, because you're allergic to.
God got patience. That's why I left my friend, but the brother can speak with authority with graphics. Oh, there you calling Boakai 85-year-old. Boakai, president, you like it that you're president. So you can get back, They still were calling, we are Buka, we like it, we are our president. That's what our feelings were in. We can't change his story. So that level on the 2029, if you want to be the man divided by being, other than that, you gotta live with the reality. And that would not change anything. Boakai is the president. Boakai is doing better than CDC. Even though there are issues and they need to improve, but they're still better than the CDC regime. And the police during CDC time were not any better than the police now. Police, we want to protest at the Temple of Justice. Police went there and tear gas us. We're not even violent. We're on one side. They hope like the other link. When they had Mr. Cummings in court for the what is stuff name? The fingering saga. They went there and tear gas us for nothing. You saw the issue. There was two guys went to protest for what is the name? The same B. Martin issue. You see police stepping on them. There are only two men. We want to do walk around court protests. We wanted to get our petition to the president. The police manhandled the guy named Emmanuel Service. I was among that group. I just managed to just take note of that. Beating, grabbing, putting in jail and stole his wallet. So we can't be here discussing CDC and want to sing praises to CDC and the police during CDC time. We all live the harsh reality of the CDC and the police brutality. We condemn them. So we didn't say dark days. We didn't say what going about 1985. We didn't say what going about 1980. But we condemn them because it was condemnable. And when the police do the same now, we condemn the police. But CDC is not a voice to even speak. On the issue of the students going to, if they were the one visiting Molu, I don't have a problem with that, because protesters will always seek support from people they think that they can reach out to. You know, they will do that. And so for me, I would not have issue with them visiting Molu for whatever reason. If Molu want to support them, it is right to support them. I won't criticize them for doing that. That's their right to do it, to seek support from whoever. You know, that's fair. But the police brutality in the country will condemn it. We need to stop. The police should take their issue to the border. Instead of giving them money to go to the border, let them go and confront the Guinean soldiers that are there, and let them see how they can put that under control, so that the people of Lofa can have freedom to even move around. That's my point. I was to put to the police. Let them focus on those things.
Thank you very much. We got Bawu in studio. We'll listen to Conor Gray, and we'll excuse Conor Gray for a minute. For Bawu to come. Conor Gray, you listen to everything. Let us get your closing on this. I want to bring in Bawu Conor Gray.
Yes, Stanton, I don't have much to say with this, because this is the everyday hoopla. Some of the biggest people looking for jobs, like Joe Weir and the likes of those who are on this panel, they're looking for jobs. Some of us have a lot of jobs around here, man. Once you have the kind of education some of us have, lots of jobs around here. I'm not looking for a job in Liberia. I'm not looking for the presidency. One day, maybe I will, like George Weah, but I'm not currently. If you saw me in a ballot, then you say I'm looking for a job. But Stanton, this using protestation, you know, just to destabilize, you know, the movement of the progress we're making in a country like ours, it's old. You know, sometimes today I listen to some of the children that were chanting. I just imagine young us when some of us had badges in our pocket, but we're still joining protests. And we're grabbed and sent to Beliela because a soldier, you're not supposed to be taking part in some of these things. Some of those kids, I see us in them today. And I have to be able to say, well, such is the time. But to be frank, if these students have legitimate reasons to protest, I will ask them to do it peacefully always. Because you know what? You know, throwing rocks, blocking traffic, impeding the, you know, movement, it's not the way you're going to get your demand met. We're not in a militancy nation before, when we say we had a master sergeant, a soldier who left the barrack to rule us. Today, it's all about democracy. If you don't like it, the ballot and vote. Vote for somebody that you think will meet your supplication. But this is not, it's uncalled for. We're becoming a barbaric nation because even citizens have their right, Stanton. And to
you are quite correct. I like your last line. You know, we cannot make our country to be a barbaric nation, and people got to understand something got to give, something got to change. And I'm going to be bringing in Councilor Bawu, who gave us, he representing 21 of those protesters, and I want to say to all of you, Councilor, can you come on camera properly? Yeah, Nelson, can you adjust the Councilor video or camera, please? Is Nelson there? Councilor
Yes.
Paul? Can you bring it? There we go. Well, Nelson's get it straight now. Welcome. I'm going to bring you in, Kev, quickly, and then we'll bring in Councilor Bawu. Kev, what's your closing on this? Okay, Councilor, let's come to you quickly. It seems to be Kev is sleeping. Councilor, let's come to you quickly. Bring us up to speed. I've seen the list of some of these guys that are in the custody of the Liberia National Police. You are representing them. Welcome to Spoon Talk.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Stanton. And let me make a quick clarity. I'm still an attorney at law. I have not elevated to the level of counselor. So,
okay.
Yes, so let that clarity be made.
Liberia.
Yeah. Let me apologize for my late appearance. As a matter of fact, I've been in communication with the senior leadership of the Liberia National Police, and we have gotten some assurances that a comprehensive investigation will be conducted. I'm sure all of you have had your take on what happened today. As the legal representative of the 19 individual, we feel that there was some miscommunication. That is to say, the manner and form in which the police handled those protesters was completely uncalled for. Notwithstanding the fact that the senior management of the Liberian National Police has reached out to us and has assured us that they will conduct what they refer to as after action report. They will do an investigation, and they will do an investigation about the allegation of brutality that was raised. So far, they're where we are.
Thank you very much, Anthony Cole. So far, you spoke to the leadership of the Liberia National Police. Do you have any videos, more videos, to give us any clue as to why tear gas were used, as to why the protesters, threw bricks, if there were any, rock thrown? Do you have anything that you can share with us? We see some of the individuals have blood on their head, on their clothes. Sorry, we cannot show it because we do not want to get into the Facebook community stand-up problem. So therefore, we just, people follow it live. What say you? What were some of the complaints of the protesters that gave reason to what happened today?
Well, as far as we know it, the protest was entirely peaceful, as far as the information provided to us. I did not follow it. And so what I've had right now is information that I got from, my clients and some from the social media. But all of what we have generated so far point in the direction that the protest was generally peaceful. Now, being a police officer, former police officer, I understand how some officers can be overly zealous. And so in executing their responsibility, some became heavy-handed. And what we have been told and what we know so far is that this was not one of those action that was instructed by the hierarchy. I just left the phone with most of the top brats, and they are even concerned, according to them. They just got to know that, some of the protesters were naked, that some officer removed their clothes from on them. And the CID that were conducting the investigation, they told us that, look, these guys were brought to us the way you see them. We were not the one that, removed their clothing. And so those officers that were in the street during that very intense period may have done that. So for me, we do not want to undermine the police investigation, since they have the hierarchy or the leadership has assured us, because we are taking this very seriously, since they have assured us that they're going to be transparent, they're going to be very clear. And if anyone actually conducted themselves in a manner that was inappropriate or unprofessionally, there will be administrative action will be taken, even up to dismissal. Then, of course, we want to wait and see what the police is going to do about that. But we are more concerned right now about the due process. We've been told that our clients will be taken to the court tomorrow, and we will be there to provide them the representation that they need. And at the same time, we want the police to be able to share with us what they themselves found during their investigation. But honestly, I would say that the protests were entirely or mostly peaceful, as far as I can tell from the videos and the conversations that I've had with my clients.
Who hired you?
The students hire me. They know I have a rep car in this country, so in that very desperate situation, they thought that I will be a proper representative for them.
Okay, so the list of some of the students, are these all students? What we have here, 19, if I'm correct.
Yeah, 19. They also told us that one of their colleagues, or by the name of Leo K. Sonja, was arrested, and according to them, he experienced some brutality, and he even fainted at the headquarters of the Liberian National Police, where he was taken. So I'm sure he's been taken to hospital, but so far we have not been able to reach out to him. So maybe in the next few hours, somebody will be able to locate him, and we are sure that something will be done about that. But we're hired by the students, and as far as we know, all of the individuals you see there are all students.
And can you call that name again? The one that fainted?
Leo K. Sonjeh. His last name is spelled Sorjeh. Leo K. Sonjeh.
And that individual whereabouts is unknown?
Yeah, according to his colleagues, because when we took the list of the individuals there, so I'm aware of about 19 students so far. But then they indicated to me that their colleague is not with them, and no family member have told them where his whereabouts. So this is just the beginning of the process. So perhaps he's home relaxing somewhere, or maybe he went to a nearby clinic. As a matter of fact, not only have telephone, so maybe he's trying to reach out to them, and he can't. So we don't know yet. So there's no. It's not
with the exception of him, do we have anyone in the hospital?
Well, they indicated to me that they have some of their colleagues who were taken to hospital. The guys that I'm talking, the individuals, the 19 individuals here are the individuals that were in police custody when we arrived there. So these are the people that we met there. So if any other person was, sent to hospital, that individual name has not been forwarded to us.
Before we bring in the rest of the guys, do you think that additional students were arrested apart from these 19 names?
Yeah, yes, that's what they told us, that several of their colleagues were arrested, and some of them, they don't know whether they have been released or not. But the Liberian National Police assure us that these are the only individuals that they have in their custody. And so that is why
the Liberian National Police or the students?
I beg your pardon?
Is this from the Liberian National Police, this list, or is from the students?
This list was generated in my present with the student. They themselves wrote this. They themselves put their names down while I was.
You confirm it at the Liberian National Police, correct?
Yes, at the Liberian National Police in my present. So this list was generated not by the police, but by the very students in custody.
Are all students on this list? These names, are they all students?
Again, that's what they said. So we never had the time, because the police were conducting their investigation. We never had the time to be able to evaluate their credential or get, their student ID card, as most of them have claimed that their things were taken away. They don't have ID. They don't even have their phones. They don't have their bags. So there's no way for me to independently verify. But they have said categorically that they are all students, most of whom are from the University of Liberia.
Thank you very much. We'll go to Kev Hassan. Kev, you got to be in. If you're in, let us know. We'll go to Dr. Players. Give a shout out. So go ahead. Do you have a question or short comment for us?
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Cole. Welcome to Spoon Talk. The government is sending a message out there that most of the riots and tear gas that was seen out there were instigated by the student. That's what the government is sending out there. But the initial video that we all saw when the students were coming out, they actually were holding hands together, peacefully coming out. All of a sudden, we saw tear gas. What say you to the public? Because this government, there's a history of this government sending message out, things that are not happening. And we also, the video there, they're going around to different media outlets, wanting to put that message out. The students were disruptive. The students and who was sending stones. No footage shows that the student was sending the stones towards the police. No footage shows that the student actually attacked the police. What say you? Can you explain to the public the narrative the police pulling out there, similar to what happened in King George?
Well, so Kev, I don't want to engage into these highly sensitive political conversation. I'm here as a lawyer. What I have in my possession is what I can speak to. Okay, the video that I have clearly showed to me that the students were mostly peaceful. There has been no indication so far that they were violent toward the police or they attacked the police. Like I said, again, we also reach out to the hierarchy of the Liberian National Police, and the police leadership also told us that they were not aware of such level of brutality. And so as a result of that, they will be conducting a comprehensive investigation. Now, my part of it is to ensure that those students who were arrested by Liberian National Police are protected under the Constitution, that the whole idea of due process is carried out. So that's my position. The rest of it will be handled by the politicians and maybe perhaps those who got interest. But the videos that I have clearly show that those students were entirely peaceful or mostly peaceful, and they were attacked. Now, these things are not new. However, when you have a situation of that nature, sometimes there are just some overly zealous individuals who just go about doing things that they got no business doing. And that is why we are more interested in seeing that an investigation is conducted by Liberian National Police. That is our primary interest, because if there are elements within the institution who are conducting themselves in a manner that is very inappropriate, then of course we expect that the Liberian National Police leadership will take appropriate
My second
action.
question to you. My second question to
No,
you.
that second question, Kev, we gotta go. It's 6:34. I beg you.
Follow up quick.
Thank you, Kev. Where that go? Dr. Boble, you want to come and check up Jada and Rob? So I beg you, Chief. Dr. Boble, you'll come to Jeff. Let's do one question only. We're running against time.
Sure. Thank you. So, Attorney Cole, thanks for being on Spoon. You keep saying that the protest was for everything you've seen, it was peaceful. And I appreciate the fact that you're in conversation with the leadership of the LMP. And to hear you say that the LMP was not aware of what happened, the brutality, and they're going to investigate, that brings some small comfort. That will investigate. But my question to you is, it's just twofold. I'm going to ask one question, but twofold. First, if you believe that the protests were peaceful, that any form of violence, the bloodletting, taken to the hospital, is probably because of the action of the police, just by simple, deductive reasoning. And then two, are you going to try to get the students released tomorrow, because this will be a billable offense?
Yeah, of course. There's protesting and obstruction. Those are all billable offenses. So we have not seen the charge sheet yet, but we know that it would not exceed. It would not go more than that. Everything else that we expect to see in the charge sheet will be billable. Now, like I said again, we were not there. But we know clearly, because again, once upon a time I served as Commissioner of Police, Republic of Liberia. So I know, as a former police or chief, I know when you have people at the line, at the lower level, how energetic some of them can become. And sometimes they carry out, actions that tend to make the institution bad. I've not seen so far. Again, I'm trying as much as possible to stay away from the politics of things. This whole argument of Unity Party and CDC thing, because this is not strange to us. This issue of protest, University of Liberia student being brutalized by government, it started even way before I saw this earth. However, I'm more interested in making sure that there is a level of cohesion between the civilian or the general population and the police, because the police is a civil force, a civilian force. And so if the issue as it is appears to be the lack of training, the lack of communication, or the lack of resources, logistics, intermediate weapons, because again, maybe the police don't even have the necessary intermediate weapons to handle that kind of crisis. And so whatever they had there, they just went by using it. These are critical conversations that we need to have. But for now, I am more concerned about the due process, because the truth here is all of what I saw clearly showed that the protest was peaceful. That I can say. Everything else, when the evidence in my possession is clear that the protests were peaceful. If whatever it is, again, I don't want to undermine the police in their investigation, since we have had multiple conversations and they have assured us that they will investigate, because we want actions to be taken. When I got at the police headquarters, I saw some of the students, their hair cut. Somebody cut their hair. What is that? I met them. Some of them were even, no clothes on, naked. These are not things that you do, So if the hierarchy is not saying to us that those things we are not aware, then they have placed upon themselves the responsibility to conduct an investigation. And that investigation, the result of that investigation should be public, should be made public, and they should be taking some action. So there where we are. So I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to engage myself in these political discussions because I'm not prepared for it tonight.
Thank you, sir.
We'll just take two more. We got other conversation to run through. Well, Jacob, let's hear you.
Yeah, so Stanton, I'll just make a quick comment. The lawyer, Anthony, made a point about the potential excessive use of force by the police. Yeah, from some of the videos I saw, it really showed that, and I'm happy to hear that the authority and the leadership of the police are looking forward to investigating this matter and trying to use the knowledge gained from these things to improve the conduct of the police force and security organizations when it comes to this kind of protesting. Because in fact, I saw one of the videos today talking about excessive use of force. One of the police commander, one other thing, I think he gave an order, to the officer to kind of arrest the student. And then some of his men were kind of trying to use successful on one of the guy. And I could see that, he almost pushed a officer and were trying to make him to stand down with the amount of force he was trying to use on those cases and stuff like that. So that's why my opening comment, I said I think there is a need for additional training for the police to try to do most of these kind of simulation exercises, and then helping them also to deal with different kind of protest groups. So when you're dealing with students, the psychology of students different. First, on student leaders, bring them to the police, doing those trainings so that you're able to get into the head of these students to know how to deal with them. Because sometimes students are just rabble-rousers and show eaters and stuff like that. When police officers see that and they lose their cool and try to use excessive force, it can be very embarrassing with some of the footage we saw today. And the last point I would like to make is that one mistake we always make, and some of that have gone around, is when people think that students don't think for themselves. And I think that's a brain dead argument to think that, anytime students hold a particular public view, they're being used by somebody. No, I was a student leader for years. And I know that I was part of civil actions for years. And I know that we were students, we had our own views, because we live in a society. Students live in a society. They feel the suffering, they feel the challenges and everything. So they have their own, so they have their own views, and so we should respect their own intelligence and understanding. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. Councillor Tony, you said, man, we need to support everyone here, Councillor. So we got to adapt your different, nomenclature you have out there as to which is which, right? Emmanuel George. To say, we'll call you Anthony or Councillor, just to, lawyer or Bawu, please. I want to say thank you for coming. We've really got to go. So, Jeff, can you make a shot? If you just get a shot.
Yeah, we'll be short. So, Anthony Cole, welcome. So, yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
So, first thing I want to say that every officer on our field today was acting on the order of the police. They were agents of the police. The police take responsibility. They say they don't know, it cannot clear them from that. But yeah, so you were there today when they made a listing. The Unity Party and the agents want to make the public to think that the protesters today were infiltrated by seditions. With your interaction, did you see anybody there that were not students in that protest? And 1, 2, are you only there to help to free the students, or are you going to take action, legal action against the police?
Okay, so
violating the rights of the students.
All right, so my involvement comes in twofold. The first thing actually is to secure the release of those young men and women who have been held about the Liberia National Police. That's the first thing. The second thing here is to do an inventory, do an analysis and find out those who have suffered severe injury, those who experienced theft, because some of the allegations is that their things were stolen from them and what have you. And so what I am trying to do, some of you don't know me, I'm a politician. However, in this capacity, I'm not going to focus on my political, strength. I focus more on, providing legal representation. So in this situation, what we are doing is not to politicize this matter. No, I'm not going to do that. So I'm in conversation with Liberia National Police. I'm giving the leadership the benefit of the doubt. Yes, you are right. Superior respondent. That means the leader will take responsibility of the action of his subordinate. That's clear. Now the question is whether the leader instructed the subordinate to carry out that action. All of those things will be presented in their report. And if we see discrepancy, we'll raise those issues. So those individuals who were injured, the police will be responsible for that. Once we're just going to get any benefit of that. We're going to take legal action if the police cannot justify the action taken. So for us, we just want to take it step by step. First of all, we want to secure their release. Hopefully tomorrow they will appear before a judge. They will be released. Whether the bill will be demanded, fine, or whether it's going to be on their own capacity, great. And then we move to the next level. That is to say, the commitment that the Liberian National Police leadership made. So they are saying, well, yes, those people are our officer. They carry out what the job that we asked them to do, but some of them conducted themselves in a manner that we did not sanction. Now, to prove that, once the investigation is done, those people who conducted themselves in a manner that was not sanctioned by the leadership will demonstrate that by taking drastic administrative action against them. That means they have been able to clear themselves. But if they conduct an investigation after all of the evidence we present to them, the level of brutality, and they just sit and do nothing about it, then that will give us reason now to conclude that indeed this was an instruction by the leadership and it was not done by ordinary officer. So let us give the police a benefit.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hate to jam you, but it's always good having you. Since you left the LDA, you think they are performing well?
To be very honest with you, the DA is doing their best. Again, you want me to drag myself into point, but I'll be clear.
That's okay.
No, you brought it on. Let me end it. No.
If you started me, we gotta finish it.
No, I'll just end it right here. Let me tell you this.
Then we gotta finish it.
That's why I'm gonna stand on. Wait, let me make it clear. If the DA will be the DA that we want to see, that will adequately fuel drops in this country, the government of the Republic of Liberia will have to commit not less than $22 million every year to the DEA. And that's it. Is it? A budget of $3 million is just money for you to just get some people passing around. So the current leadership the DEA, they're doing their best under the circumstances. You see, I'm not going to criticize them for anything because they're doing their best. But the government has a responsibility to make sure that they put sufficient money in the DA so that the DA can be able to do recruitment, training, get logistics, and all that. More than that, listen, more than that, if the government refuses, no, let me finish. You don't want problem, or you see, you can't put market reach. I'll clarify. If the government does not put that amount of money, minimum $22 million in the DA, what you will have in the future. I'm not talking about this leadership because these guys are doing their best, but you will find the DA eventually turning into a state-sponsored criminal entity. I will stop there.
Well, bring me back tomorrow. You don't stop there. When you free the guys, then you get it up tomorrow, come back and let's talk more. But again, our friend, brother.
I'm always available. All right.
Yes, we're always good to have you, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, Stanton. Thank you, everybody.
From the DA, and we hope that we can have them restructure and come back to fight a good fight. Well, thank you very much. It's good seeing you.
Thank you.
I want to say real quick, guys, let's change gear because it's 6:46, and it will be so bad for us if we don't change gear. We wish the young men and women well, and we hope that they can get released. I was able to place a phone call to some of the leaders at the Liberia National Police, and they were in a meeting. They are there trying to figure things out exactly what happened today. And again, they are looking, as Bawuko said, they are looking into this issue, and we wish everyone well. Let me go ahead quickly to talk about this letter that we received. The letter say, this is the CMC. I don't want to leave this story because I know why it is. Honorable Musa Hassan-Bello to the Honorable. This was done by and written by Wilfred Bangura. Wilfred will be joining the show as a panelist starting Thursday, but we'd like to bring him on. Wilfred Bangura, welcome to Spoon Talk. It's good to have you on the phone, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, Stanton. Let me take this opportunity to greet all of you.
Thank you very much. We got a letter of resignation. We got a letter of resignation, dude. Jacob said you stay with CMC. Now it's official. I'm kind of surprised the date is saying April 8th. Well, then that is to say the leadership of CMC refused to tell Jacob and others that you've been resigned, you left since April 8th. We're talking about 6 days, and Jacob still believe your good friend that you stay a member of CMC. But what led to your resignation? I know you will see a lot when you come on Thursday. Am I right? You joining Spoon as a panelist representing MDR on Thursday, correct?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. I'll be on the show Thursday.
And you will tell us more about what led to your resignation?
Yes, I think it will be a great idea to reserve comments on that until I'm on the shore, so that I can have the latitude of time to talk about what led to it. But I thought that I alluded to some of the reasons just in passing when I talked about the non-alignment of values. So we can expand more on that on the show on Thursday.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, we have it. Thank you very much. Wilfred Bangura, it's good talking to you. We look forward to seeing you on Thursday. All right.
Emmanuel George laughing. Emmanuel George is smiling. Why?
No, because the thing is that the man resigned since April 8th. Y'all say he didn't resign. Y'all had in the man letter. We're able to find the man letter. Here we are now. The message he coming to tell his own.
But still don't read it. Look at the letter. When the letter was received, everything there.
Okay, but we move now. We move. The message Thursday will do Thursday.
Yeah,
don't forget about it. No, hey, if I start saying I let him finish it, I'd like to bring to your attention that I don't know whether it was true that Prince Moyi received 8 point something million for the renovation of the Capitol building. But today the good news came in that Yombly saying the Chinese people gave it them 3.5 million. So where is the other money? So let's listen to Yombly quickly and discuss about money that have been given or will be given for the renovation of the Capitol building. And also we'll talk about Jacob Debbie. Jacob Debbie said that it was AI when he called on Spoon Talk and said the House of Representatives, Fubi Henry, received 200,000 to go to the border. Today, the man said that AI will play that. We also like to say, I want us to wrap something up on this whole B Mountain issue, which of course is just bad, right? And President Vargas should be leaving Ethiopia, returning home. And we announced also that President Vargas should be traveling to the United States. We hope to see him here on the 21st of April or the 22nd. Around then, he will be coming to the United States, going to California, and also spending some time in Rhode Island. Again, as it is said, he's the president. We should keep track of his traveling, and we should try to see whether the country benefiting from these travels, right? Let's talk quickly about the 3.5 million, as Yombly said today.
Lobby to raise some funds for the repairs of the rotunda and extension projects. We've gotten some approval, and our approval will benefit the Senate and the House of Representatives. I think the total of close to 8.5 million to be distributed. So it was just for the information of the Senate, and the modalities will be worked out later on. So with that clear, for the information, we're having successful results from our meeting from China, and the legislature will benefit close to 8.5 billion. And that's the information.
Well, I mean, it's a good gesture by the Chinese people. It's very good thing that Richard saying. But I'm beginning to search, and I stand to be corrected. Were there any money placed in the budget for the renovation of the Capitol building? Somebody please correct me. But there you go, 3.5 million is coming through the push and fight from Yombly and folks in the House, in the Senate. Dr. Richardson, you want to say anything to this?
Well, if she said 3.5 million, is that what you heard?
Yeah, that's what I heard. 3.5.
Is that what? Yeah, I think it's a good thing that the Chinese are going to help us renovate the Senate and the House of Representatives. Unfortunately, I look forward to the day when we can say that we are, supporting or getting most of the money from our own revenue as opposed to depending on external sources. But it's not a bad thing; it's a good thing.
Okay, I believe that Dr. Josh would say give the money back. Dr. Josh, should we give the Chinese put a $3.5 million back?
Why you want to bid them for 3.5 million in the first place?
There you go. There you go.
Why you want to beg them? We have budget surplus last year. We have a legislature that is overpaid. Look, people don't have any shame. Most of them in that legislature have paid more than Chinese legislature, but yet they still China to bear for 3.5. Look, Stephen, I don't like to talk all this thing because it's difficult for, I know that our public find it difficult to understand when I take these stands. But why we keep begging? How can your whole nation be a beggar nation? We call ourselves a sovereign nation. We want to face a rotunda in our own capital. We go to China to go pay for money. Right now, when some of them want hard, they will go to China. Everything will be begging for in that country. We are turned to a beggar nation. It's disheartening, it's discouraging, and it's wrong. There are a lot of senators in there who are very successful. A lot of them. Amongst themselves in that Senate, just sitting in those chairs, about themselves, they can raise that body.
I don't think.
Go to China to go.
I don't think my.
No, man. We gotta start this business. I know you left free money business, but we gotta start begging. Begging is not a good thing in life. Being a beggar doesn't help you a lot. It's not good.
Thank you very much. Thank you to our brother Jefferson Chelsea. 3.5, a little over 3.5.
Yes, Stanton. Personally, I don't think the Chinese should waste their money on the legislature in repairing the return. I don't think they should. Until they get to the bottom of this, the people themselves burn their own building and they're going out to the Chinese, asking the Chinese to give them money. What sense does that make? Those same representative in there burn their own building, put fire on their own building, lie on other people, and then they go into the Chinese to beg for money. It doesn't make any sense to me. That money should even be used for other purposes, maybe to be sent to the University of Liberia or to JFK to help improve, the health sector or the educational sector, or even be spent on the poorly paid police, or on some other sector of our country to develop it, because it's useless putting any money on our building. Until the government can get to the bottom of this, I think they shouldn't put any money on our building. The Chinese people should not waste their money on the legislature. That money should be used for other purposes. I strongly believe so. Stanton.
Thank you. Fubi, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a sad thing for our country that we're always in a hello, please help me situation. And they budgeted, I think the last budget that they came out with, they said they were putting some 8 point something million there. So it means that they didn't raise that money, that they have to go to big China for 3.5 million. You have budget surplus of 5 million in 2025 that they just decided to reallocate in the supplementary budget. You got extra money coming from, extra grant coming from World Bank for 40 million. They just did a supplementary budget to allocate that. So the lawmakers, their budget, if you put the three security entities together, the more than the three security entities, AFL, the police, the immigration. So we are not serious. We are not serious, and that's why we'll keep begging. But China looking for allies. So the Chinese won't mind giving 3.5 million because they can find a way and buy their way through and get some goods concession deals. You have the Chinese.
All right.
Ouagadougou, man.
So let me bring in Russell Whitford.
I think he's back now, though. You want to click?
Yeah, but you finished up with Russell.
Yeah, it's time for the country. Go ahead, Mr. Russell.
Thank you, Mr. Henrys. Okay.
So you're a nice guy. Thank you, Mr. Henrys. You better stop that thing here.
But so, you know, I think what I'm about to say, I mean, it's reflective of what a number of us have said already. You know, we have to be a little bit more responsible. And I wouldn't say, Stanton, that we should get the money back. But I think it is incumbent upon us, you know, there is, incumbent upon us to be responsible. We burn the capital. We're responsible for this. We should, at least we have come, up with the money to help to renovate it. There's nothing wrong with getting money from other sources, mobilizing resources from other sources. But when we continuously and just so beholden to always begging and asking, it doesn't look really good. So, I would love to see us, take some level of responsibility. I know there are a lot of challenges in the country or so, and that's one of the things where sometimes folks are supposed to giving you some sort of freebie. As we say in this country, there is really no freebie. There's really no free money. There's always something attached to it. There is always something expected, from you. So, while it is true that I'm not going to advocate for giving the money back, I think it's a good thing. But that we have this relationship and we can leverage those relationships to mobilize resources to do a lot of things. But I would love to see us mobilize resources or get resources to put into the healthcare system, or to do some really meaningful, impactful things that would benefit the people more directly than renovating our Capitol building that we damaged, that the people that they themselves damaged. We should repair it. We should fix it. We should get it up to standard. But let us, cut some of the fat, some of the pork that goes to the legislature and renovate that. If we go whoever else, I would love to see us use that money to repair our schools and repair our hospitals and provide more drugs or provide more water supply systems for our cities and and municipalities and all of that, but not to renovate or repair what we irresponsibly damaged. But not to give the money back, but let's use the money for something much more impactful and much more meaningful.
Thank you very much. Jacob, what say you?
I'll follow that line to say that I'd rather that 3 million go to Detroit High or Tottenham High or Boswan to pay for quality education and good classroom for our students. The current legislature is a huge embarrassment. They act to burn down your own place was extremely childish. And I wouldn't even say childish because to say childish will be insult to children. Children will probably do better than that. You don't go and damage your property that the country pay money for and go back, countries to campaign. And you don't see the legislators begging for money to take care of, to transform JFK or to take care of Tottenham High, but to pay for, in fact, the value we're getting from the legislature is so below par. So I wouldn't even put a penny in the legislature. The money we spending on the legislature already for me pains me to my very bones. I will spend $50 million and so on legislature that we're getting precisely close to nothing from. So yeah, that's why I would say. That's why I would say the Chinese, we thank them for their generosity, but I would rather them start spending that money on Detroit High or Tottenham High. or Gibson.
Kev, what's with you?
You know, for the past 2 days, I've been staying up at night and wondering, where is Stanton Witherspoon? I've been staying up at night. I wonder, where is Stanton Witherspoon? Imagine,
why you worry about me?
Imagine what happened in the country for the past 2 days and listen to where he's going. It worries me. Because when he stayed on that lane, I began to get hope of a new day, of a brighter Liberia. $3.something million for a lawmakers to fix that bill in the offices. Hey, guess what? Dan Stanton is keeping cool.
But I will talk and I will talk. Why you sit up there that I will interrupt you? Can't worry about you and CDC, my man. Leave me alone.
Hey, man. They're taking $51 million to put in somebody package say for maintenance for a yellow machine. They're asking for $3 million, begging for $3 million. Where's the disconnect there? $51 million. But they found 40 million in grants from the World Bank. They're taking it, putting in this. But they get some kind of 51 million and say, my man, put out in your pocket that you're late in there. Where we headed to? You know, when they brought in Mama Payan, and now you can call her Stanton, Mama Payan. Everybody said we will see the difference at the University of Liberia. Now I knew Josiah Boka will bring here a friend and say, bring your wife and you can chop too. Under this government is a big elephant meat that they are chopping. $3.something million. Jacob, you said it correctly. Why can't you take it to our hospitals and schools? Why can't you take it to LU? Fix somewhere. What are the lawmakers doing for us? In order for them to come together and they go down on the Lofa Highway, and guess what they're doing? They are singing, the more we get together, the happiest we will be. Basically what they're saying, the more we get together and the more we chop, the happier we will be.
Thank you, Kev. We got one more story to cover. Thank you a lot, Chief. Dr. Boble.
Stanton, the capital is our national treasure. It's a symbol of sovereignty and pride. We fixed that ourselves. We should have been fixed that. Restore it and be proud that we did, even as you look for who damaged it. You should have done that. It goes to character and who we are. So I'm disappointed that we didn't do that. That said, though, if I am a thousandaire and I have a friend who is a billionaire, and I say, friend, can you help me with small thing so I can do this? And my billionaire friend say, sure, yeah, 3.5 million, I'll take it. But yes, what I will also do to save the face, the integrity, and the reputation of the lawmaker. I would take the money that was, that was 1.8 million I put in that 2025 budget.
Bad, Dr. Boble.
Huh?
You can hear him better?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'll just say, yeah, you got to mute yourselves, Chief, because sometimes interfering. Gonna mute yourself too. But I was saying, take the
take the money that was, because there was money put in the budget. Initially, it was a $1.8 million put in the budget for repairing that. Take that money and put it directly to sanitation, so that at least we can get 2 or 3 counties clean of trash, better air, and healthier people. But if you just take the money and to repair the rotunda, and you don't redirect what we had put in there ourselves, then we have not done right by the people. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, Dr. Boblet, thank you very much. Colonel Gray?
You know, Stanton, if somebody is giving you a gift, no obligation attached. Of course, Mr. Russell have said that there's nothing called free lunch. But if somebody is giving you 3.5 as a gift, I don't see the cost or, you know, the fuss behind that. You know, we spent twice that amount for about 6 years trying to repair the executive mansion. Every year was it was allotted for in the budget. And somebody went to work graciously to pocket that money. And now, like Dr. Butler have said, that is a symbol of our democracy. Regardless of whether or not you like the individuals that are there, but that place remains the echo of our democracy. So to see it lying in ruins, and people think that, look, they'll budget for the hospital. But one lawmaker came here, he was talking about budgeting for hospital, take money. Why they can't reduce their pay and send that money to repair JFK or to upkeep JFK? But this is a gift. They are giving it for a purpose. They say, well, to repair the seat of your democracy. How is that a fuss? I mean, I know we're angry at varying things, but this is something, someone gifting you, man. Are you angry at that again? And you say we're begging? Take it or leave it. We're a country that has absolutely very little in terms of resources. So if somebody said take 3.5 million, how is that a fuss? I don't know. I don't understand. Sometimes the way we think, we have to be able to look at the country more than our political individuals. They are repairing the seat of our democracy. People are angry at that. I mean, I beg to differ. As always, Stanton.
So just my view on this issue. You want to say something, Emmanuel Josh, quickly before?
I just want to, let me just put this in there. We it's not a gift. We went to beg for it. That's why the Senate Pro Tem said it's not a gift. Gift means someone gave you something. When you beg somebody for something, they give it to you, not a gift. That by force you went to ask for it. So it's not a gift.
Okay, so let me say this quickly. It's very important for us to do. Listen, though, I totally disagree with, some of you guys. Hey, listen, let's just be serious for a moment. I think the lawmakers then can pay for that place themselves. All right, they are around almost $55-60 million, House of Representatives and the Senate. If you add the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and Pro Tem. These are some of the reasons we should kick some of those senators and House of Representatives out. These are some of the reasons. They are unprofessional. They are greedy. It's all about them. They care less about the country. Even if you include the $8-something million in the budget for the renovation of that place, they will eat it until you say other matters. Whenever you see other administrative matters, it means they won't eat your money. They will. And that's why they will not stop begging. They will beg China, they will beg Sierra Leone, they will beg Guinea, Nigeria, and everywhere because they know how to exploit other people's generosity. And then when you come back to Liberia, to go to B Mountain and charge them the money that due the Liberian people, they will not. Go to China Union. You know how much money we're losing? But ask for the family, how much he getting for corporate social? The money that the people supposed to pay for the family, let's say, got $30,000 and $50,000 to send children to school and keep her afloat. So therefore, they will not pay their due taxes, and that which is due to the Liberian people will not receive it. They could be mountain. Jeremiah Kun holding gold worth $3 million. Where is that gold today? That gold gone. But we're going behind the gold to go beg the country that taking our gold and diamond and natural resources for $3 million. Isn't that stupidity? The people came in our country. China Union is wrecking and they're coming back. Hummingbird, the one they call Hummingbird, that one you can go all the way. They wrote a beautiful letters. So many letters were written. And guess what happened? We call them, they owe 15 million. They go, you will never hear way more about that thing. The people that settle there. No noise. These people are running our country, but we got useless, retarded lawmakers then that care less about the country. It's all about them. Listen to Yombly, and I love my sister Yombly. She cannot even call the exact amount that he gave her. You took note of that? She said a little over 3.5. If you demand transparency, tell the Liberian people the exact amount you beg China for. But I can guarantee you all that money not going to China, and they are going to the renovation, because Prince Modi said they needed this amount to renovate our return. We got a clip. He said it. He was there. He said it. So where that money? And that's the reason why, my fellow Liberians, you need to change your lawmakers. They are not in your interest. It's all about them. They will continue to beg China. They will go to South Africa and beg. They will go to Russia and beg. They will go to America and beg. Because while we are a beggar nation, like Emmanuel George said. So only one I agree with you, Emmanuel George. But I can tell you that when I get that money back, they beg China to build bridges. Overhead bridges, Chinese people coming by and said, she bad. Joseph Burger will probably complete it. They went to Japan and begged for Japan Freeway. Ghana's way, they put it there. It took 20 years almost to get that completed. They begged. They beg and say, yeah, World Bank will give us that. We happy for the $45 million. They will share it. But guess what happened? We are looking at Big Mountain Western Cluster. We are looking at Salamita. And all of them going with all of our natural resources. Where is going? Switzerland, right? And we'll go back there and bet. You give the people the natural resources to make billions of dollars. They say, we beg you, please. Nobody is sitting there as pro tem. She can call on it today and stop it. You know how much you're going to get from B Mountain? More than $3.5 million. But you prefer them to take it to China and Dubai. Then when you go, they say you're the protest. Then you dress nicely. Then you go there. Then you stay there. They take picture. Then when you leave it, they say that fool. You give it to them. You give it to them. Delon, you give it to them. Americone, you sign on B Mountain for us to get 3% royalty. You give it to them, Americone. You give it to them. Nathaniel Follow McGill. Evan Snow, you give it to Western Cluster. Your answer to the people. And you understand how much share he have given everything to nothing left. You give it to them. Is this the House of Representatives and Senate you want to bring back 2029? And then they will celebrate. Listen to them celebrating that they gave them 3.5 million. Just listen to them. Listen to them. Fubi, they are so happy that China not going to get them $3.5 million. Listen to them. Listen to them. So you know what though? What do you do? CDC, United Party, CMC, and YYC? We need to change in Liberia. We got to change member of the legislature. We got to change them because all they do that free talking. The people will pay the plane ticket. They will put them in a 5-star hotel, give them a suite. The people that want to ask them who they're traveling with, they will not travel with a husband and wife, so you know that. They will go in that suite and enjoy themselves, and they will come home, and the people will write a beautiful letter. After receiving $10-15 billion from Liberia a year, the people will say, on behalf of the Kingdom of Prussia, we gave you $5 million. Hey! On behalf of South Africa, with all the good things you have done, we're going to renovate portion of JFK Hospital and bring technicians to work there in the total amount of $10 million. Hey! They may not take $5 billion.
So we will also be donating money now to other countries. We will get all the resources.
But again, that's the reason why we don't need those lawmakers. We don't need them. We don't need them. We're already done. They are all failures, but hey, people will say CDC and United Party. That are the two things they will say. So we got to end the show at 7 for today Tuesday, today Bible study. I don't even know what the
I mean, let's go back. Let's go.
They are up there. Well, please say Christian. You know what Bible study is? You know, they didn't teach us, man. Complete say Christian.
See the referee that's a problem. You see, the man is tempting with my faith. Okay? The Holy Spirit just reminded me that today Bible study, the man is laughing at me.
The Holy Spirit reminded you.
What shall it profit a man? If you talk one night about the issue and lose his soul.
Let's do our closing and we'll go. I gotta go Bible study too.
Okay, you're not going to Bible study, man. Don't lie to them. I'm baking you. Don't let me say that thing. Baking you. Today, Kev, don't do that. Next time, don't call Fago and myself on the call to talk to your girlfriend. Don't do that. It's very bad. Today, let's move on and discuss the issue. Mawani Dix yesterday, she posted her bill, right? She was placed on the prisoner bench, and then the judge accepted the bill. So she will be starting the court process. Yes, indeed. So Mawani Dix then are their own bill, right? But a very important development coming in the next couple of weeks, right? Samuel Twe, I said that the other day, and people think this is a joke. The investigation brought in Tenet Bronskin. Tenet Bronskin is the Deputy Minister for Budget at the Ministry of Development Planning. They asked Tenet the process in which the situation was taken, the whole Samuel Twe allegation that Richardson. Tenet was one. Tenet said she had never seen that process before. Tenet Bronskin. She said it was a very strange process. She had not seen it before. The gentleman that they said they gave the money to, they put the gentleman on the stand. The gentleman said, my people, nobody gave me money. When you guys collected the money, they never gave us the money. Now, what the government going to do tomorrow? Breaking news. The government called individuals. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I will say it anyway. They are calling individuals that were part of the national security team that Boble. And those individuals are willing to testify that the process on which the 6.5 million left the country and went in some people pocket, they have never seen it before. And they know nothing about the 6.5 million. But they're the one that should have signed and agreed. They're the one that should have followed the process about that money. They are going to testify tomorrow that the money vanished in thin air. Dr. Boble, this is getting very, very interesting. They will be, I will invite all the journalists and go to the court tomorrow. They will be on the stand tomorrow. They will be testifying. Those are in, I'm not going to call their name, individuals that were part of the national security team at the time, right? That should be in that meeting under George Manner. We have Fubi. These guys are going to testify as state witnesses on this issue. The case is taking a different turn, and I hope Samuel D. Twe Jr. is prepared, he and his lawyer. And again, I want to say to all of you, sorry we couldn't get to Jacob Debbie. Doing your closing, just think about it. Jacob said, when he called on Spoon Talk, that Richardson, it wasn't him, it was AI. He said that today. Jacob said when he called on Spoon Talk, it was AI. I have never seen that in my life. I'm going to play it quickly. for you guys to see it. I don't know about you, but I really want to listen. Let's listen to Jacob first video here.
He has not stated which social media platform, right? He comes now and say he went to urinate and went to the person, the author of the letter, to give him the information. So he has come with the information, and he said spoon. He says spoon now. So we have to establish. Hello, investigation have faces. Yeah, investigation have faces. Investigation has faces. He comes and say he made an allegation of a social media platform. He has said we have to be specific. You can't go on fishing expedition. When you come with complaints, you must come with the facts. So he has not established which social media by his communication. So that's one thing you need to take into consideration. I raised that.
So please listen.
So I'm sorry. Yeah, this is first. All right, so that's when I think the Corbin, right? So let's listen to James, and I was sued James Golder for calling me and disturbing my sleep. But let's listen to what James Golder called me for. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is first Jacob TV. I am the chairman of the Rule of Law Caucus. Good. So, Dr. your name is mentioned. You are part of the text message I will share today. I'm announcing that you are one of those that will be sent to remove Yeke Koruba. Can you speak to these allegations? The first thing is that the police are opting for Yeke's removal. All right, it's one Jacob Debbie called on the show, but he said that's AI. The man said that's not his voice, Dr. Richardson. He said that AI. I don't understand. This is so bad, right? But the man said that AI. He said we didn't talk to him. We're talking to AI. That's what he said.
Except without admitting that the purported recording that was played is my voice. The next thing we have to establish the same kind of close.
So there you go. He said, except you guys, you just listen to it. What are we today, Dr. Bopler, Dr. Richardson, that people will call and talk and they say, no, that I mean, and that's just AI. My question is, when they call me the morning, Jacob, James Golder called me and I said, James, what's up? He said, my man, we having a hearing here. We're backing you. Can you verify whether Jacob appeared on the show? I said, no, he didn't appear. He said, can you, Jacob, participated on one of your program to say the lawmaker took 200,000. I said, yeah, Jacob called in and he said he heard that lawmaker took 200,000 to go to Lo-Fi. But Jacob said he didn't call in. That Richardson, were you on that night? Anybody was on? Jacob said he didn't call in. That AI. That Richardson, what happened?
No, I don't recall, but if you who always on the show said that he participated in the show and he called in, then case is closed.
Everybody is saying he called you, but the man said that AI.
Well, I mean, it's I feel so bad talking about this, compared to the other bigger things that are going on in the country. For example, the B Mountain, we didn't get a chance to speak about. So, I feel bad, especially in the same context that Representative DB is saying that I'm here for the rule of law. It's just such a juxtaposition. It's not adding up to me. You cannot be for the rule of law, and you cannot admit that you called a show to state whatever you stated. But again, a case has been closed.
Going with that, Dr. Richardson, it's true, Dr. Bopler. Dr. Richardson, I'm going to leave this to you. I got to go now, and I got a signal that I got to go. But to be frank with you, Dr. Bopler, Dr. Richardson is right. He called on the show, and I spoke to him off camera. He said what he said. If he's correct, why is he hiding it? Dr. Bopler, why he choose not to say yes? I said it, and these are the proof.
Stand up. That was not AI. So when you go to Bible study, pray for the man. And then let's talk about this thing tomorrow. Yeah. Pray for him. That was not AI. But it just shows how, to me, some of those who we have put in serious position of trust and representation either take the people for granted or they don't take their position seriously. And both of those are not good. So that was no AI, man.
You see, I'll leave you with this and that. Richardson, you gotta know where to go. I beg you, your family home. Can you close the show, that Richardson? Please don't run. I know you're worried about CMC losing people, but please. But let me say this, right? Over here,
more president for CMC. Go CMC.
Something happened, right? That of 2 congressmen, one of which it happened in less than 4 days. They were accused, right? One of them were accused of allegation about rape. Eric Sauer and Winfrey, you know them, all right? And guess what happened? In less than 4 days, the man resigned. He resigned as of today, 2 p.m. The congressman resigned. The man said,
Integrity.
The other guy from
That's what it's
Texas
called.
accused him too again, Gonzalez. The man said, but the person that accused him, the guy died, right? These are allegations, but both of them stepped down. They resigned. But we have our region speaker, rape allegation, the man said I'm going. Bill man eating 14-year-old, the man said I'm going. Calling somebody in your bedroom or get you on video, the man said I'm going. That's the problem we have in our country, but we want to imitate America. But when Americans are doing the right thing, then we get angry and say, no, we'll just cherry pick which one to take. And yeah, we are today.
You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways.
Resign, and when they resign, the people are clapping, integrity speak. But look at Liberia today, region speaker. And now the man said the people took 200,000. Even if it will cost your job. Say the truth, provide the evidence. But you say that AI. Then when they call me, you want me to like, no, that ain't AI. I spoke to Jacob Debbie. Have a good night, may God bless you, and I will pray for each and every one of you, especially the upcoming wedding for my brother Russell, right? And Kev, please don't call me. I respect your wife, please.
Stanton, the guy even reminded you how to call his name. He even reminded you how to call his name.
Oh,
the guy reminded you how to pronounce his name. You were saying David, he said, yep, and he called the name the way he wants you to call it.
Yes, he did. But guys, take care, man. Have fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow by God's grace tomorrow. Don't forget, Emmanuel George, tell us who you're bringing on. And don't forget, we'll be bringing, somebody's coming on again. Well, God bless them. See you guys tomorrow. Good night.
Yeah. We're just going to go through our rounds of closing. Next will be Emmanuel George, Jefferson, Chesson, Henry, Phoebe Henry, Winfrey Russell, Dr. Brooklet, and Connor Gray. In that order, please. So, Emmanuel George, let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you all for the conversation. It has been a great conversation looking at the issues in our country. I'll conclude with where Stanton stopped because it's a very interesting topic. I was pleasantly surprised that when the agenda of the National Legislature was put in place, they have 2 letters for Yeke and no letter for the Speaker. There should be a letter on that list asking for the investigation and the resignation of the Speaker, because he has a lot of a lady by the name of Cecilia Paul came on the show, and Paul Kuhn came on the show and said that he was her legitimate. He was her legitimate husband. His office came out the next day to say that no, that his sister he got married to, that is incest. It's a crime on our law. And a few days after, the family came together and said that that's his sister. That's incest. The lady reported on the show that she had romantic sexual intercourse with the Speaker. So I'm wondering why these lawmakers will have Yeke name on a list twice, but refuse to have the Speaker name on a list for investigation for the heinous crime in our country. So that's the challenge we have. And hopefully after this sitting, they will add the Speaker name, because this thing must be investigated. The reputation of our country is at stake, but everybody seems to be running away from this. And the gentleman who has AI in his house, I want to congratulate him. I don't know how much money he invested in that level of AI technology that can identify his name, identify where he says everything, cover his show, and answer critical questions. Look, some of you need to get spines, man. You sit down while they're representing 50,000 people who respect you. For 200,000 business, you just lie to everybody. Stop those kind of things. Hopefully, we'll discuss the Bee Mountain thing, because as the Senate put 10 was going to China to pay $3.5 million Somebody was getting 1.6 billion for us and giving us $43 million. If that's not disgrace, Colonel Gray, tell me which one. You go and pay for 3.5, somebody taking 1.6 for your country and giving you 43 million. You all have a good night. Look forward to the conversation tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Chesson.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson, and thank you to my fellow panelists. First thing I want to clarify, I want to make some correction on what Stanton said regarding what Tanya said at the hearing of former Finance Minister Titwe. She was clear. She said that the process they use for signing that document is technically possible under emergency. And she also intimated that it happened during the COVID. So she did not say she haven't seen it or it has never happened. No. She said it was technically feasible. Those were her words during the hearing. Regarding the police fracas today involving the students, first thing I want to say clearly that there were no infiltration amongst the demonstrators, the students that was protesting today. There was no infiltration, there was no sedition, there was no CDC or any opposition here behind that protest. It was squarely students protesting for the rights to good education. And in peacefully protesting, and in that manner, the police provoked violence and brutalized students and humiliated peaceful students today. They should never be tolerated in our society. The police on the Bwaka is getting out of hand, and this must come to check. It must be placed in check. Those students must be released tomorrow unconditionally because it's a square violation of their rights. It was wrong to naked the students that were protesting. We did not see one act of violence from any student in that protest.
Thank you.
Bwaka, yes, just 2 minutes just 3 seconds. If Bwaka wants to build a one-state society, one-party state, we want to say to him, absolutely, it will not be tolerated. It will be resisted with every drop of blood in our veins. We use every means to resist Bwaka from building a one-party state.
Thank you very much.
Richardson.
Thank you. Mr. Fubi? Henry?
Yeah, so Jeff, look, the students have the right to political affiliation. So there's nothing wrong with students being partisans. So you shouldn't get very people say that they are partisan, because students got the freedom. There are students that are Unity partisan, there are students that are CDC partisan, there are students that are ANC, CMC partisan. So nothing wrong with that, and nothing wrong with political parties getting involved in protest actions, even under the banner of students. So nothing wrong with that. So just that they should do it peacefully, and the police should also respect their right to protest and not brutalize them when they are not using force or being disgruntled. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So quickly I'll just chime in on the Jacob of my mail calling to see whether AI start to verify the AI voice for it. But on the B. Martin issue, I've been following this B. Martin stuff. I know we'll discuss it later tomorrow. But there are just some basic things that I think we keep missing. The public, gets sentimental about when they hear 1.6 billion and 3%, everybody runs. But 1.6 billion also is that money, there's some expenses that were used to generate that 1.6 billion. So the 1.6 billion didn't just come about. So we should be interested in seeing their income statement to see how much was spent to generate that 1.6 billion, besides the 3% royalty. And if they declare profit, government also gets 25% of that profit. So government not just getting 3% royalty. Government is also entitled to 25% profit margin as tax on every revenue that is generated annually from companies. So these are basic things that we need to understand and know. So it's good to see their balance sheet and their income statement for the year. Then you can reasonably know how much they took out of the country, what was their net profit that was declared, and how much government got as taxes besides the royalty. Then that settles the matter besides just the hype that we're all running away. 1.6 billion, 1.6 billion. What's the level of investment that they also did in the countries? All these things are good for the public to know. Then we can do a better judgment. Because but I know the hype of 1.6 billion can just take everybody off, and we can all condemn it. But we also need to encourage government need to have to support Liberian investments. And so that all this kind of stuff that we see going out of the country, we can see Liberians doing it, and we can big seeds of Liberian millionaires and billionaires from our own country. That's something that we need to drive the Liberianization policy. That's something that I support, and I think we need to see government encouraging and supporting Liberian businesses to venture into this kind of concession agreement instead of just having foreign companies coming in and taking them. And all we do is complain. And LRA also need to verify and see how the taxes are being paid to government if they were declared, and the actual revenue component, the export that's also being taken out. All these things that you have some strict monitoring policy around them, then you can know whether government is getting a fair share of the concession that is signed. All these things are necessary. But we add these things, the public will just blow this thing for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, we change to another topic, and that other topic will be behind. We wait for another maybe 4 or 5 years, it pops up again. Then we all hype ourselves, we cry, we curse all the lawmakers, we curse the executive, we curse the president for signing. We start looking for who signed a deal, who all were part of this. After 2 weeks, that discussion dies down. We start another discussion after 4 years. The cycle continues, and that's why the country will not keep getting better, because we waste our energy on these things and we don't see the conclusion and we don't change from there. Election time, we still move for a couple of rests, t-shirt, and Fafa and all the other small insignificant things that will not change our lives. But that's the country that we have, but we hope Liberians can open their mindset. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Henry, thank you. Mr. Russell?
Thank you, Doc. And thanks to all of our viewers and our listeners and all of the panelists for taking time off to come and talk to the Liberian people and talk about issues that matter most to them. So I am grateful and appreciative that you all given us this time. I would just use my closing to just highlight the hypocrisy that exists within our system. The sort of self-righteousness that some of us exhibit. And we know that things were not perfect yesterday, and they clearly are not perfect today. So to come and pretend like everything is all fine and dandy and hunky-dory, I mean, it's just really, really unfortunate, but misleading. Because we are still striving to get things right. And we need to call those things out. There is no one group. The last government, this government, there is no one group that has been better than the other. So when you say, "Oh, my group was better" or "my administration was better," I mean, better, of course, is relative, right? So there is no one here with the moral authority to say, "Hey, we did things better." And now you're not doing things, that great. Students have the right, and citizens have the right to protest and to demonstrate, but that right also comes with some responsibility. I mean, even in this country, when we saw, ICE was out here all over the streets of Minneapolis, the Twin Cities. There were people out there protesting, filming, and doing a lot of things. They're right to challenge ICE and to protest what ICE was doing. You know, I was out there too as well. But we had a responsibility because guess what? If you don't abide by the rules, you know, some people got killed, some people got attacked, you know, so we have our right too as citizens, and we're not supposed to be interfering at the free movement of citizens and the free movement of law enforcement, or impeding the work that law enforcement is, the law enforcement out there doing. So, so all of us, where one group rights, end, that's where the other group right start. So we have to be cognizant of all of that. But I think that now that the investigation has been done, I think that's part of what we want to see. And I applaud the efforts that the government is making to ensure that there will due process, and that all of those who have been victimized one way or the other, that they see their day in court, and that this matter is fully and thoroughly investigated. But to come here and pretend like my government was better than your government, that's not the case, because we're still working towards a better, more equitable system, and that's what I would like to see. But that no one here has the moral authority to say that they were better than the other. Thank you, and thanks for the opportunity, and thanks for the time.
Thank you, Cousin Law Winfrey Russell. Dr. Brooklet, please go.
Citizens have a right to protest, and the police have a responsibility to protect, and we can do both. And I hope that the public will cooperate by sending as many videos as they can find to the police. I hope the police would do their due diligence and investigate. And if the police did some things they shouldn't have done, then there should be consequences. When you get in those situations, I think it was maybe Conor Gray that mentioned that, adrenaline start pumping, and then it's easy for some people to do more than is necessary. But I think what we honestly need to do better at, and will come with training, sensitization on both sides. But for the police, especially since they're supposed to be the training group, is we ought to respect the right of the citizens, and we ought to make it possible for them to exercise that right to express themselves. So when people come on the street and start, you try to create those safe passages. You stand where you can demonstrate all day, shout all day. You don't cross here, you don't do X, Y, and Z. I look forward to a speedy investigation, and I look forward to some education around that, so we're not repeating this. Thank you, Doc. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Olivia,
yes, I know, I understand. Conor Remy, Gray?
Yeah, madam, let me just make mine really tender and short. I just want to remind people that we're an emerging democracy. What we have in the United States today did not just come into being just automatically. It's not a Tada moment like magician. There was a time when this democracy enslaved people, and it was okay under the law that people should be either domestic slave and chattels or tools somebody might use. But today, this democracy has evolved into something else, and ours will come there too. But let's not forget that when you say protestation, it's not all about taking the law into your hands. You're there to draw attention to a public good, or something that the government has fallen short in meeting those needs. So you come forward and remind them. But that doesn't mean that it should tend to a riot. Every now and then when people come in the street, I hate to see how people being manhandled. I saw people, were being actually scolded, but sometimes I'm not going to hand judgment, but I hope that as we emerge as a democracy, people will be responsible in their actions. Remember that the police are there not they're not targeting you, but if you infract the law, definitely somebody will come against you. And I hope those police officers who probably use extra means outside of the law to enforce will be reprimanded once they're found guilty. But let's be careful. We're still an emerging democracy. A lot of people admire our democracy as a country around the region. And that's what we have, but we're emerging. Please stay safe, and everything would be okay. Doc, thank you so much.
Thank you, Liberians, for joining us. And Nelson Collette, can you please end the show? I want to tell you guys I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, have a good evening, or wherever you are. All right, bye-bye.
Well, thanks a lot, Dr. Richardson, and thanks to you, Colonel Gray. Thanks to you, Chief Phoebe Henrys. And we look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. It's been a great show. And I also want to say thanks to our audience, the folks who have been listening, watching, sharing the program, sharing the thoughts in the comment section. We appreciate all of you for being here with us tonight. It's been a very, very informative and engaging edition of Spoon Talk here tonight. We look forward to seeing all of you here tomorrow. But until then, have a good night. And Spoon Talk will be on tomorrow. Let me just recognize a few of you just before I close up. Let me see here. I see Josh Morris Jr. Thank you for being here tonight. Lincoln Morris, we appreciate you. Philip Bala, thanks for being here, Mr. Bala. Telvin Ping, we appreciate you as well. Apu Johnson, thank you for being on tonight. Harrison Kangba Jr., we appreciate you as well for being on here tonight. Thanks to all of you who have been making your contributions in the comment section. We appreciate you. And Spoon Talk will be back tomorrow. Until then, Albert Kolako, Nathaniel K. Hill, Alfonso Sa, Joseph Yakai, and all of you, Hipko Kazi, we thank you for being here tonight with us on this edition of Spoon Talk. Maxwell J. Fambole, thank you for say I gotta call your name. Yeah, I mean, hi him, man. But thank you for being here tonight. And I want to say thanks to Michael Grisby. Yes, Michael Grisby, we appreciate you for being on tonight as well. For joining us on Spoon Talk. Yes, we appreciate you for joining us here tonight. And let's hope we can come back tomorrow for another edition of Spoon Talk. Until then, have a good night, folks. And let me say happy birthday to you, Miss Fatumata J. Masaleh, the CEO of House of Caring Hands. You're celebrating your birthday today. You're there in Staten Island, New York. I want to say happy birthday to you as you celebrate your birthday today. My dear sister, I wish you all the best. Miss Fatumata J. Masaleh, happy birthday to you. And thanks to all of you for being here tonight. Have a good night and bye for now. You provoke them, yeah.